101.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. The Defense Force preparing for a Haitian exodus. The Commodore says additional boats and aircraft sent to the southern Bahamas. House Speaker Moultrie says he'll sign the Bounders Report himself if he has to. And the government to hold a virtual concert featuring Bahamian artists at the end of July. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, July 9th, 2021. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Stephen Hanna will be joining us. Also this morning, we will tell you how Roy Seligman did at the Scripps National Spelling Bee. And we are talking independence in the Bahamas, how we should be celebrating it, that annual conversation. We will do that again today. That is coming up. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force is sending additional vessels to the southeast Bahamas in anticipation of a possible mass exodus of migrants fleeing Haiti in the aftermath of the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse. That's according to Defense Force Commodore Dr. Raymond King. News of Moïse's murder shocking the region Wednesday, with many observers fearing that the attack could plunge the already troubled island nation deeper into a political and social crisis. King says that the increasing instability warrants efforts to shore up Bahamian borders. He says they're enhancing their strategic posture and positioning in the southeastern Bahamas, and especially along the Windward Passage and the waters between Great Anagua and the coast of Haiti. King says that they are in the process of doing what they've already started, mobilizing additional vessels. He says they're beefing up their human intelligence as well so they can be proactive or preemptive and get a better idea of what's going on in Haiti. Moïse, who had been a controversial figure since being sworn in as Haiti's president in 2017, was brutally murdered at his home located in a prominent neighborhood on the outskirts of Port-au-Prince early Wednesday morning. His wife, Martine, was also shot and injured during the attack and was flown out of the country to Miami for further medical treatment. Haiti's borders and its international airport were closed, and martial law was declared in the aftermath of the event. The Bahamas' borders have been closed to travelers from Haiti since earlier this year, with the government citing concerns over COVID-19 and the low level of vaccination in Haiti. A man seen beating a police officer in a viral video remanded to prison pending sentencing. 23-year-old Julian Butler admitted various criminal and traffic offenses related to the July 5th incident yesterday when he appeared before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt. It all began when traffic officer Tyrese Smith pulled Butler over for running the traffic light at Cordo Avenue. This was around 2:30 p.m. Smith asked Butler for his driver's license, but he didn't have one, and Smith walked back to his motorbike to get his ticket book. Butler took off, prompting a pursuit. Butler endangered other motorists, according to the prosecution, as he weaved in and out of traffic, drove in the wrong lane, and into oncoming traffic during the chase. The chase ended when Butler fell off his scooter as he tried to cross the median on Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. Butler then charged at the officer and punched him multiple times in the face. Butler also tried to grab the officer's 9mm pistol from its holster. Off-duty officer Sergeant Travis Strachan was in his private vehicle when he saw his colleague under attack. He ran to the scene and ordered Butler to stop while holding his firearm in the low-ready position. Butler was subsequently arrested and charged. Now, he pleaded guilty to assaulting a peace officer, resisting arrest, requirement to carry government ID, driving in a manner dangerous to the public, driving a vehicle without third-party insurance coverage, and driving a vehicle without a valid driver's license. He pleaded not guilty to unlawful possession of the scooter. His lawyer asked the court to consider giving him a conditional discharge. The lawyer suggested anger management classes, as he explained that Butler was provoked when the officer kicked him off his bike. After legal arguments over whether a policeman was a peace officer, the magistrate adjourned the matter to July 15th. Speaker of the House, Halson Moultrie, who chairs the Constituencies Commission, says that the government members on the commission are frustrating the process of completing a report. However, Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Michael Pintard strongly rejecting those claims, adding that Moultrie is at odds with the majority of the commission's members. Moultrie, though, saying that he'll sign that report by himself if he has to. And Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Ira Lewis saying that the ministry will host a 2-day concert featuring Bahamian artists at the end of the month to wrap up Independence festivities. The announcement coming after several artists expressed disappointment over the government's plans to host an Independence Day celebration bereft of Bahamian music and performances. The minister, along with artists, holding that press conference yesterday. Some of the artists thanking the government for meeting with the creative community and coming to this agreement on this matter. And Bahamas National Spelling Bee champion Roy Seligman's amazing and historic run at the 93rd Scripps National Spelling Bee coming to a close last night after he incorrectly spelled the word ambystoma in round 12 of the live televised finals. The 12-year-old Roy completed the 2021 Spelling Championship tied for fourth with 3 other spellers who were eliminated in that round. Roy added an I instead of the Y in that word. Overseas, more from Haiti. 7 suspects have been detained so far in the stunning assassination of Haiti's president, and Haitian authorities say 2 are believed to hold dual U.S.-Haitian citizenship. And Colombia's government says at least 6 are former members of its army. Chief of Haiti's National Police, Leon Charles, saying Thursday night that 15 of the detainees were from Colombia. The police chief said 8 more suspects were being sought and 3 others had been killed by police. Charles had said earlier that 7 were killed. The police chief saying that the 17 handcuffed suspects sitting on the floor during a news conference on developments following the brazen killing of President Jovenel Moïse at his home before dawn Wednesday were, quote, going to bring them to justice. Colombia's government said it had been asked about 6 of the suspects in Haiti, including 2 of those killed, and had determined that they were retired members of its army. It didn't release their identities. The head of the Colombian National Police says that the president had ordered the High Command of Colombia's army and police to cooperate in the investigation. And Pfizer is about to seek U.S. authorization for a 3rd dose of its COVID-19 vaccine, saying Thursday that another shot within 12 months could dramatically boost immunity and maybe help ward off the latest worrisome coronavirus mutant Research from multiple countries shows that the Pfizer shot and other widely used COVID-19 vaccines offer strong protection against the highly contagious Delta variant, which is spreading rapidly around the world and now accounts for most U.S. infections. 2 doses of most vaccines are critical to develop high levels of virus-fighting antibodies against all versions of the coronavirus, not just the Delta variant, and most of the world still is desperate to get those initial protective doses as the pandemic continues to rage. But antibodies naturally wane over time, so studies are also underway to tell if and when boosters might be needed. On Thursday, Pfizer telling the Associated Press that early data from the company's booster study suggests people's antibody levels jump 5 to 10-fold after a third dose compared to the second dose months earlier. In August, Pfizer plans to ask the Food and Drug Administration for emergency authorization for a third dose. Hours after Pfizer's announcement, though, the U.S. health officials issuing a statement saying fully vaccinated Americans do not need a booster yet. U.S. health agencies saying in their statement that they're engaged in a science-based, rigorous process to consider whether or when a booster might be necessary, and the FDA and the Centers for Disease Control issuing a joint statement on this, saying they'll work with drug companies and work with the data, but they won't rely on this exclusively. Currently, only about 48% of the U.S. population is fully vaccinated. In sports, Jazz Chisholm hitting his 10th home run. A 30-30 season might be a little out of reach, but a 2020 campaign is still within grasp for Bahamian professional player Chisholm. The 23-year-old infielder hit his 10th home run of the season yesterday, a towering upper deck shot to right center field off one of the heroes of the 2020 World Series for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Julio Urias. Chisholm turned on the first ball in the strike zone from Urias, but the Dodgers still won the game 6-1. You can read more about Jazz's chances with this season, though, in today's Guardian Sports section. Second session of the Nassau Rowing Club summer camp underway, and the budding rowers have been in action at Lake Cunningham. Guardian Sports caught up with head coach Carrie-Ann Kulig and some of the campers yesterday as they worked on their skills on the choppier-than-usual water. You can find out more about this also in today's Guardian Sports section. From the NBA, the Phoenix Suns just 2 wins away from winning the NBA championship. The Suns beating the Milwaukee Bucks last night again in Phoenix, 118-108. They have a 2-0 lead in the best of 7 championships. And it's a big weekend for sports, Wimbledon, and more basketball. And we'll keep you posted on all of that. We'll have the details come next week. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, we've got an elongated ridge of high pressure that will generate moderate to fresh breezes across the country. Meanwhile, tropical moisture lingering across the northern islands will trigger some increased shower activity through tonight. Boaters near the extreme northwest Bahamas should be alert for waterspout activity. Beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents along eastern shorelines. For all areas today, we're looking at partly sunny to sunny, hot and hazy conditions, breezy as well, with a chance of a few isolated showers and thunderstorms, mainly over portions of the northwest Bahamas, becoming mostly fair and warm with a stray shower or two possible tonight. Small craft caution is in effect for the central and southeast Bahamas. Winds east to southeast to 10 to 15 knots in the northwestern Bahamas, increasing to 15 to 20 knots, but gusty at times in the central and southeast Bahamas. Seas 2 to 4 feet, building to 4 to 7 feet, but higher in gusts in the central and southeast Bahamas. Temperature-wise, we're right now at 81 degrees in Nassau, 81 in Freeport. Look for highs getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index will make you feel like 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up after traffic in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
It's time for break, but when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution. Wake up. It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now live in studio, and I haven't said that on a Friday morning since...
Are they going to play like applause?
We need to
after you say
do
this?
something. We need to play like some special music or something. This is the first time I think I've seen you since the pandemic. One time, twice maybe, but this is the first time you've been in
I don't
studio.
recall.
What?
I don't recall. I mean, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I
since
think-
the pandemic?
Yeah. I think Yeah. We went out. We had to do something.
Yeah,
But
my tire was flat. It's like,
but I haven't seen him. I've seen him once or twice since March of 2020, and this is the first time he's been back in studio with us since March of 2020. Can you believe that, folks?
define us. Define us. You mean the audience or
Morning Blend.
okay,
Morning
all
Blend.
right.
Wow. Okay. All right.
see.
Well, that's another story. We'll talk about that off here. But welcome, Stephen Hanna.
Hey,
Look at that.
there we go.
Wow.
There we go.
My goodness.
Kermit.
What
Thank you,
to what
Kermit.
is this my independence gift? To what do we owe this honor?
Oh, I didn't want to fall back to sleep. I was definitely gonna fall asleep.
Oh, on Zoom.
No. I mean, like, I wasn't gonna make it to Zoom if I didn't. I had to like get up.
So to get up. So
Take-
this won't be a
take a
regular
shower.
occurrence. This isn't your grand return.
No,
you're gonna
this is very much not.
you'll be mixing it up.
Sure, let's
Maybe.
go with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna do what I suspect most businesses will do, which is
Some hybrid type thing.
right,
In some days.
whatever is the most affordable version of this.
Well, okay. Well, welcome. Great to have you here on this special occasion. And hey, we're about to celebrate. It's Independence Eve, so about to celebrate Independence. So this is a great time for you to be with us this morning. And you have something special for us a little bit later in the show.
Yes.
Let's give them a tease of what it is. You've been working on a project.
I've been working on a project,
Uh-huh.
right? Incidentally, with some members of the Junkanoo community. Kermit is a part of.
Oh, you were
the
part of
groups.
that, Kermit?
No, he's part of one of the groups.
Oh, but did he know
the
what you were
Prodigal
doing?
Sons.
Okay.
I sampled
knew
some of
about
them.
No, you didn't know about that?
I sampled some of their music, some
Uh-huh.
of their sounds, as well as the Junkanoo Commandos. It's
Okay.
a very wide-ranging project,
All right. And we're going to debut it here
Right.
on Morning Blend this morning.
Yes,
And
it
this is
is-
just in time for Independence.
Right. I feel like it is not only the song that the Bahamas deserves, but it's the song that Bahamas needs.
Wow. Okay. Well, I've heard it.
Did not your heart,
Let's see.
did not your spirit jump within you?
Deserves? Needs.
It does.
Huh.
It does. Did not your spirit burn within you as you listened to it?
You know, I listened to it twice, and it's a song, as you heard, folks. I listened to it twice, and the second time,
You wanted to sing along.
I appreciated it more.
It will
So I
grow
guess
on you
with more, right?
and
The
and
more you listen to it, like, well, I get it.
Listen,
All
trust
right.
me, by the fourth time,
Uh-huh.
you'll just be singing it. You'll randomly be singing it.
Well, maybe it's like the country. You might need 48 times to really
No,
fall,
it's not
fall
like
in love.
that in that
No?
sense.
Okay.
No.
All right, but that's great. So you got it already. That's more than a tease. Stephen Hanna has a song, and he's going to debut it this morning on Morning Blend.
It's another song.
Another song. That's right. You've done songs before because you're so multi-talented.
Well, you
beautiful.
gotta try.
You got to mix it up. It's wonderful. All right, so we're looking forward to that. That's coming up. And this morning is going to be in keeping with this theme. As we said yesterday, we wanted to bring down the temperature a bit as things are getting heated. People are sounding angry. And I don't know if that's helpful at this time.
Like
we need
what?
to be just life here in the country. Everybody's just so on edge and upset and bitter and ticked off at everything. Sometimes we need to just look around and be thankful with about some of the things we have.
Thankful is a different word.
Hmm?
So
Appreciative, grateful.
you got to come down like half a step, content or like I'm not even understanding, somewhere between empathy and resolve, but neither of those being anger. Where it's like I realize where we're at. This is not necessarily the place that I would like to be.
Right.
And
I
it's-
think everybody can say that.
Right, and there's a moment for righteous indignation or anger, but at the same time, it's like it's not a place that you can live, because then we won't move forward, right? So even inside pretend Hollywood movies, they do this thing where the soldier comes home and becomes a farmer, because you cannot remain in a state of aggression and be a part of civilized society or help build civilized society.
That's very important.
And so it's like, it cannot be the only way that you're able to express any strong or true emotion is in anger. Which of course feels safer for a lot of people who've been through trauma. Like it's hard to be vulnerable without just like, they might just want to make lemonade, but it turns into an argument. So,
Yeah,
there it
so
is.
very bitter lemon liquid products.
Right.
Right.
But it's important that you were angry at this thing. Now, what are we going to do to resolve it? And that means that you cannot remain in anger.
Right.
So
Right.
like, you don't need to be happy about the situation, but you could be resolute. You can be empathetic. Content is the last, that's in the last rung, but
Yeah.
something.
So we're going to try to do that today. Be
Resolute. I concur.
content and talk about what we're content about.
You don't
But
have to be content. You be resolute. Because
Yeah.
the thing is, like, I think that we would be in denial if we say the Bahamas is at all where any of us wish it to be.
Right.
All right. We know that the Bahamas is not where we wish it to be, but it is not just saying we shouldn't be here. It is where should we be,
Yeah.
and then being resolute in saying, let's get to that place as quickly as possible. Yeah.
And a little bit later, I think we do this almost every year. We ask how you would want the country to celebrate independence collectively. It seems that every year people are saying they're seeing fewer flags, fewer.
These things have to be organic.
Right.
And I was having the conversation with you yesterday where it's like, I feel like there is something indicative that a lot of our memories are tied to either big businesses, either existing or not existing, or what the government did, and oftentimes with big businesses. So it's like,
And this is in relation to the conversation we had yesterday with Gen X's remembering how things used to be.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, I think
I'm
it's
saying-
a perception that it was that type of discussion. I think it was just we remember fondly doing this, and it happened to be at this place.
no.
And now we
But
don't
I'm saying,
do that
But what
anymore.
happens then is like, if a lot of persons are like, oh, remember when there used to be so many flags around because the government or because businesses did this, and it no longer becomes profitable for either of them to do this because it was never organic. It was just an end of year sales event, 50% off because it's Independence Day sort of situation. Then suddenly, because it wasn't organic, we don't have anything to fall back on. Like,
No, you're not suggesting that's what is happening with the flag thing, that it's businesses.
I don't see as many businesses getting involved with the independence drive as when I was younger. But I'm saying, once again, businesses will be like, because businesses, they make up the society. So they might also be like, oh, I forget it's independence. Hurry up the last week or the day before. And they're not doing the same. They're not going to be like, let's have a 50% off Independence Day sale or 20% off Independence Day sale. Like, that's something specific in my mind that I'm remembering involving paint places, right? And so it's like, those companies don't exist, and two, the companies that do exist don't need to and will not give you a 20% off sale. And so there's no reason for them to, because all of this ties into the culture and how often we see the flag and how often we see the colors, and it would be in ads. Every ad in the newspaper would be an Independence Day ad.
Yeah,
for
that's
the weeks
still
leading up.
happening, but not as much as it used
No,
to.
every ad.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be some ads. It'd be
Right.
all the ads would be Independence Day related.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
But
So
I'm
we're
saying,
gonna,
but you can't lean on businesses to do it. Like, we have to organically do something as a people for that to happen.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. In fact, we're going to take over the Morning Blend Business Hour with that discussion, and it will be related to business, as you can hear. But a few days ago, I gave you my ideas, and I got some feedback from that, and we can talk more about that as well. I want to hear from all of you on what you think independence should mean in the Bahamas. Every year, this is what we should look forward to. This is what you would want to see. So that's coming up. Just want to let you know, speaking of newspapers, Stephen, that the Nassau Guardian's Independent Supplement is in today's Nassau Guardian, so you've definitely got to pick up the special 48th Bahamas Independence Supplement celebration. And again, in today's
Who
Nassau
would
Guardian.
fail at Scripps?
Sorry?
Who would fail at Scripps?
Wow, okay.
You know what? I commend you for being able to pronounce that word, because I saw it last night and I was like, well, he's a brat. I wouldn't even identify the word, let alone spell it.
Avistoma?
Yeah. It's like,
Abistama? How do you pronounce it? Are there different pronunciations? Anyway, but
I don't know. Were you pronouncing it incorrectly?
I have
just
no
now?
idea. who knows what this word is? And they had to listen. You saw if you were watching.
I read their release where they're like after having to do an audio confirmation.
It took quite a while.
It
It was some very tense moments as the
like,
judges were listening
say-
over and over. Was that a Y or an I that he said? And they did want to ask him.
That's the
"What
time
did
where
you
you
say?
say,
Did
no,
you
that's
say I or
I used to be
Y?
him. I used to be him.
I pronounce it differently.
I pronounce the letter I differently. I said I do.
Oh, wow. All right. But we do want to congratulate Roy Seligman.
Yeah,
Or Seligman, I'm not sure you pronounce
Oh
his
boy,
name, actually.
there we go.
There we go.
In the deep.
But this is an amazing thing that he's done. The first time that Bahamians ever made it this far, and yeah, this is excellent. I know very few people would make it this far, and definitely,
Bro,
would have,
I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't make it through the round
to the
out of-
national championship.
nationals. I wouldn't make it out the classroom round to make it to the school round.
So this is amazing, and the winner as well, also making history.
First African American.
Yeah, Zayla is how you pronounce it. Avant-garde. Now that's quite a name, eh?
It's like a
Avant-garde. Is that your name? How does that end up being your last name?
What
Avant-garde. Yeah. From Louisiana, she won, and I think the word was Mariah or something like that. Something very bizarre, which apparently is a type of tree.
I was busy last night. I did not watch
You
it.
didn't, yeah, right. But congratulations to all of them, especially Roy, and he finished tied for 4th, which is amazing, yeah. All right, so a lot to be proud of, and DeAndre Ayton with the Phoenix Suns. They're on their way to winning the championships.
Hey, mate, let's-
The Phoenix Suns, they're just 2 wins away. They might even sweep the Bucks, it seems. So
Are we going to send anybody over there? Who was that came up with that? Somebody was, I think it was Levin, who was like, the Ministry of Tourism should send a junk canoe group to just play outside of every stadium where they're playing.
okay.
I know, I just think, I'm saying, if in this moment.
I mean, in Phoenix though, not in Milwaukee, you wouldn't want to do that because the Milwaukee people think you're playing for them.
They wouldn't know.
They would. And then if you only start playing when Phoenix is scoring,
They
the
were like,
angry
"Wait a
crowds
minute."
like, what's going on here?
Not really running in a junk canoe costume.
So I don't know. But hey, I'm sure there will be a parade, and the Junker group could,
Well, here's
could
the
go
thing.
there.
I feel like at this rate, regardless of where they land, that we should have a thing for all of our professional sports athletes. We should do either. I guess if you invite them, it is an invitational, but just invite them for a day of celebration, regardless of all of them.
Sports Day? No, you can't call it
You
that.
can call it Sports
Maybe
Day. You can say National Sports Day. You invite Buddy Hield in. You invite Jazz Chisholm. You invite Aiden. I pronounced that correctly,
Yeah,
right?
DeAndre Ayton and
Right,
Jonquil Jones.
You
and all
invite
the track and field
every
athletes.
single one, right? And it's Bahamian Sports Day, and you could do it when school is open, and have them. You split them up and let them go to different schools or whatever it is, but they all should be celebrated, right? At this point, regardless of if they get a medal or a crown or whatever, a trophy. I don't know how sports works anymore, but they have already reached a point where they should be celebrated, and they don't need to go 1,000 more feet for us to recognize them.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we could do that around Independence Day every year or something, right?
That would
could be
make sense.
something.
As a part of Independence Day, the week of Independence Day celebrations, we know that either the Monday before or 2 days before, if it falls on a weekend, it'll be the Friday before. There's going to be a sports day parade. Everybody, the same way where today is technically supposed to be the day you're supposed to wear your national colors. I don't remember a call going out for that this year, but whatever. I'm sure they did, but I don't.
Well, it's tricky. I heard people saying that today is National Pride Day, but it usually is the Friday in the week before. So that would have been last week Friday, but that didn't happen last
But see,
week. So
even
so
that-
lots of confusion.
Right. I thought it was the Friday before, whatever Friday was before the holiday. But once again, this would be a better thing because you'd be like, okay,
Well, so
We
yeah,
we always
could be
do
that.
it.
It could be that
We can say we always do it the Friday before.
because it falls on the weekend. That probably did mess it up.
Right.
So maybe that's it. But,
But I'm just saying, this could be a thing where it's like, it ain't just, oh, you just putting on your T-shirt and then you going to work. It's like, no, there will be a parade. You turn on ZNS and cable and there'll be brand new content all day following these athletes as they go around. They play baseball with young kids. They have a one-on-one tournament with the prime minister. Different sporting activities. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like, and also they're compensated for their time.
Oh, boy.
I'm just saying. You know? But they're also celebrated for arriving at this pinnacle.
yeah. All right. So save that one for when we get to our
I'm not
talk
gonna remember
about.
it.
You know, I'll remind you. About sports and independence. I want to hear from you folks. So think about it. Want to get your ideas. Already getting some text messages, and they're not pleasant.
Of course.
And oh boy. Let me read this one now, and then we'll get into this a little bit later. But this person says, "Morning, Dwight. Let's face it. The reason why there are fewer Bahamian flags at Independence is because there are fewer Bahamians every year. We are becoming a minority, and every year during May there are thousands of foreign flags flying from other countries." Wow. I don't agree with you, but I think it's something else. It's something else, right? And as you see, this type of behavior, when Bahamians leave the country, they will have their flags all over the place. It's just, I don't think we are.
Why do we have to have the flag conversation every...
It happens every time, but I think this... I don't know if being ungrateful is the word, but... and not everybody, even patriotic people aren't necessarily going to fly their flags, right? That's not... Some people just don't want to put flags in their cars. That doesn't mean they are not really very proud of the country, so...
Honestly, the only... Okay, so I have an issue with performative anything, all right? And like whether it's performative allyship or performative wokeness or performative, like there's a lot of performative Christianity, all right? Like where people, they put on all the signs and symbols of something because they feel like this is what is socially acceptable and this is what people expect from them, right? I would much rather people live that stuff, right? And now the people who I respect are the persons who year round 24/7 are driving around with Bahamian flags on their car. Those people are few and far between, all right? But there are people who never take the Bahamian flag off their car. They also happen to have like posters of Celine Pinling and Milo Butler on their car. But once again,
maybe the flag can't come off.
and maybe they don't want it to come off, right? And they've made sure, because those flags fall off of cars very easily, right? But they've made sure that their flag remains there. Those persons I respect because they're not saying, oh, I'm going to put this flag up for a week or 2 days.
Not for show,
Right.
really.
This is, and they get new flags to replace the old flags. Like the flags don't fade. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those persons I respect. But like for the flag inside your car window is more or less, it's a gimmick. It's something to buy off the side of the road. It's not the same thing as being proud to be Bahamian.
Right. Yeah. And I'm
all
curious,
year round.
Texter, do you have flags up on your vehicle?
Flag, like how much people wear Bahamian shirts during the year?
Yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, man. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Good.
You know, I hear this discussion about the flag, and this is not the first year or the first time or not the first season that Bahamians are not genuinely displaying their patriotism around this time. But if you study what happened at the lull and the rise of various administrations, as soon as they become unpopular, the patriotism dwindles. And the more unpopular the administration comes, the less participation in anything, any national event is displayed. And that is exactly what we're going through right now. Bahamians are just not enthused by this administration. So, we are. That's how we are.
Yeah, that's very sad.
I mean, even if it has been like that for,
And I don't disagree,
the
but it's
past
very
two,
sad.
but I don't. It wasn't like that like in the 90s, and it wasn't like that in the early 2000s. Like when I was younger, it wasn't like that. And like so that still feels like a relatively recent development.
Yeah, I hear you, and I think you're right. But thank you, caller. Thank you. But I think that's a very sad and dangerous thing. We need to find a way to separate the politics from how we feel about the country, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's hard. It's very hard.
It's not hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because nobody considers anybody who is presently at any point in any point in history. I don't think we consider anyone who is then a contemporary or in politics a national hero. So I don't understand why. Do you consider any of the people in the House of Assembly a national hero?
You mean currently?
Yeah. I'm not talking about past persons.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm just saying. So like, it should be very easy to uncouple
and that's the
it.
thing. We need to not make it so much about personalities as well.
Right, but because that's definitely a part of that. But but this goes back to what I was saying earlier, where it's like if you're tying, I expect the government to do this, right? Which is fine to expect them to do something, but when they fail to do that, it can't be that everything just falls apart at that point because it's like, well, the government didn't subsidize it, so we're not going to do anything.
Yep, that's true. Got to get out of that mindset, folks. That's not going to help us at all. That's going to be very detrimental. Let's take this call and we're going to read some messages, and we got to get into what else is in the news before we get back to this conversation. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Blend. I'll be quickly. I see the prodigal son has returned.
Well, he didn't really go away. Just returned to the studio.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, anyway, wherever has he been? I'm sure he's been in a parallel universe where there aren't 11 people dying per minute from starvation like they're doing here, and one every minute from COVID. So I'd like to know where
What?
he's been. Sorry?
What was that first part?
11 people dying from hunger every minute, and one death per minute from COVID. I want to know.
Oh, you mean globally? Okay, yes.
Yeah, globally,
Ah,
but I want to know where
right.
he's been.
That-
But no,
okay.
just joking,
Okay.
you know that. But the independence thing, man, that document that we got it should have been a living document, should have been improved on, and they just let it sit there and rot. Look at Article 7. What's the use of it? I don't know. A lot of them. So since they're not pushing this document in our face enough to let us know how living it could be, we are letting it die, it looks like, eh?
Well, I was going to ask you, who's the they? I mean, it's all of us,
every
right?
leader, everyone who says they want to lead a country should obviously be looking first at the Constitution, yes?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
sure.
I mean, everybody should look at the
Right, I was going to say, if you really feel it needs to happen, make them understand that's what they need to do.
When I can do that.
Are we doing that?
No, I
Right?
can personally take an attempt at stop at that. And it
That's
might be a
good.
bit of
I mean,
time.
that's what you're doing now.
Yes, and
attention to it.
many of us do it as well, but then others are like, no, this is
Yeah,
this is
I think we
blessed.
just failed to realize the life that was breathed into it and didn't keep it breathing, functioning,
Yep.
So maybe if we could take that approach and realize that this thing should be living and not dying, we may have more celebration. Because celebration, you got to be alive.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. One more call, and then we get to these messages here. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, please, good morning,
Hi.
Dwight and Stephen,
Good morning.
and happy free Independence Day to both of you all and to the country on the whole.
Yes, you too.
I think that, the constituency allowances that the MP gets, 1/4 of that this quarter should have been put back into the various constituencies that they have. One time ago, they used to have competition for the best yard or house decorated for independence and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that $25,000 could have been used for different festivals and different things within each constituency. Maybe just have a constituency competition, where everybody tries to get involved and the money is spent within each constituency. And maybe that would help to boost the morale of people, because really, we don't know what happened to that money. We can't see where that money is going, right? Except for St. Barnabas. Just leave St. Barnabas alone. Okay, but the rest is
Okay.
really like that,
Yep.
I think would help. If every constituency we had a competition, we had something. I know normally they'd have some little basketball, independence basketball competition, this and that. So you could get everybody involved.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Stephen, you see how the people call for local government without really realizing they're calling for it? They try to take the constituency idea as local government when it's not really what that is. But that's what they really want, but they don't know they want it. They keep saying it, but they don't realize that's what they're calling for.
I'll tell you a secret, Dwight.
Very interesting.
The secret is, it don't matter. Like, you gotta, sometimes, right, because things are frightening to people, you have to do it under a different name and just let it ride, right? Because, like, the same thing with people, Bahamians, because of our American media, are afraid of socialism, right? No, I'm just saying, they are, right? If you say, oh, we should become socialists.
No, nobody says that.
I'm saying, if somebody were to say that, the phone lines would light up. Everybody say, oh, he's a Christian nation, we can't do that.
But that doesn't make sense.
Of course it doesn't make sense, right? But that's because you know what socialism is, right?
We don't want that, though.
But without socialism, we wouldn't have national insurance because that's a socialist program. And and sure, we copied and pasted it from America and Britain, but when they did it, they acknowledged that it was a socialist program.
I don't know why you're introducing this and injecting this.
I'm saying sometimes you got to drop the word altogether, right? And so you don't say, America doesn't say Social Security is a socialist program, right? You say it's a social net, or it's to make sure that everybody's doing. You explain what it is, but you never call the word. So, if you want us to become a federal republic, you can't say president.
Didn't even say that yet.
I'm just saying, if you want local government
for new province.
Sometimes you got to drop the word local government.
Or maybe it's government.
No. It's the local government, because local government exists. The word exists already in our vernacular.
Yes.
So in order to introduce
we don't want that.
Right, you want to introduce a new concept, so just call it something else. If the people want to say modified constituencies, you could call it whatever you want to call it, because at the end of the day, we know what we want it to be and we want it to do. But sometimes you just gotta give a little and say, you know what? Yeah, no, man. Nobody would want a republic, but what we do want is to have a say in who is the executive and how much power that executive wields. Right? It's the same thing, but we just could call it a different day.
Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. All right, let's read these, and then we got to get to what else is in the news this morning. This text here. Funny you should mention it. I haven't seen one person on the road selling flags. That's normally where I get mine.
Because you lose money off of that.
I've seen a few. There are a couple little places with T-shirts, and not as many as you would normally see. I think it's the pandemic that's causing this.
Also, you lose money off of that.
Yeah, and it's too many people, and it's such a short window.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a short.
It's like on July 12th, nobody wants anything.
No, and the thing is, it's a short window. I've always thought it was a short window, and I always felt like either we need to do it the month leading up to July 10th, and we cannot be afraid. Oh, but what about July 4th? We're going to overlap with that.
Who cares?
There are people
who
feel like we can't do it because we'll overlap. It's not our holiday.
Was it who are these people? But anyway, okay.
I'm just saying it needs to be a month either leading up to it
from June 1st straight up to July.
Because even like this whole thing with this government sponsored concert that's happening at the end of July. I honestly would be surprised if it happens. That's one, because it's like nothing for people to say, yeah, man. At the end of the month we could deal with you, and you never see them again. All right. So
or the public forgets.
The public will forget.
Yeah.
All right, but like it needs to be a month of celebration. I don't think after it works.
So again, we can remember that. We'll bring that up again when we get into that. In fact, maybe I'll save these. I'll save these for when we get to that discussion. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about some of the other things. Ready, Mr. Producer? In the news. It's been a while. Yes. We've been caught up talking about Bahamian independence, and these other things are only going to depress us anyway. So let's quickly go through this. So the big headline in the National Guardian today: Defense Force prepares for Haitian exodus. Commodore says additional boats and aircraft sent to southern Bahamas, and this is in light of the assassination of the Haitian president Jovenel Moise, and that situation is getting very bizarre in Haiti. The number of people who've been arrested and the number of people who've been killed, and where these people are from. What in God's name happened
a small
there?
army.
Very, very frightening. And the latest thing is that some of the people being held are ex-Colombian soldiers, and at least 2 people who have dual Haitian and U.S. citizenship. Right? Colombia's government says at least 6 of the people being held are former members of its armies. And my goodness. Meanwhile, the Haitian National Police is saying that 15 of the detainees were from Colombia. And we're hearing different numbers, but it seems the police chief is saying...
True.
Right.
One is Army. One is saying we confirm that these 6
right,
are from the
Army, and then 15 from Colombia.
Right.
Different numbers about who's been killed, and the number of people who've been killed. The police chief says that 8 suspects were sought, and 3 others had been killed by police. And so the number of people who have been killed has gone up as well. So it's just a wild situation there, and a cause for great concern. And so the Commodore here is saying that they're sending additional boats and aircraft to the southern Bahamas to monitor the situation. They're increasing their intelligence as well to keep their ears on the ground to ensure. Look out or listen out for whether there is an exodus, which we definitely wouldn't be able to handle at all. So that's happening. And we had quite a bit of discussion about this a couple of days ago, about this just wild situation with the man who fought with police in a viral video. Our Artesia Davis writing about this today, saying that that man who was seen beating a police officer in a viral video was yesterday remanded to prison pending sentencing. 23-year-old Julian Butler admitted various criminal and traffic offenses related to the July 5th incident when he appeared before Chief Magistrate Joanne Ferguson Pratt. It all began when traffic officer
Would you like
PC,
some dramatic music underneath this? Because this is the most ludicrous story I heard when I was coming up. Like, what?
Yep. Tyrese Smith pulled Butler over for running the traffic light at Cordo Avenue around 2:30 p.m. on July 5th, according to the prosecutor. And Smith asked Butler for his driver's license, but he didn't have one. As Smith walked back to his motorbike to get his ticket book, Butler took off, prompting a pursuit.
Can we pause right there?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is where everything goes dumb, right? Because what makes you think that if he was going to give you a $250 ticket max, right, that it made more sense to speed off because he's not going to chase me in also a motorcycle?
Well, this is either the movies and the TV shows that our people are watching, or the way we are raising our children.
Not thinking all the way
through.
Yeah,
it's all related. I think.
It's like, no, I can't blame his parents for that. He did not think this through.
Okay.
And it's like, anyway, it's a $250 ticket.
There's a lot of people like him. Many people were thinking I would have done the same thing.
And that's why we should have. That's why we need to point out the fact that had at this moment he said, "Okay," waited, got the ticket, and left, he would not be in prison right now. He's not sentenced yet.
Oh, everybody thinks. Many people think they can outrun.
Take the word "think." Many people believe because they're not thinking.
They can outrun the police. They could weave and bob and duck under this and hide in this bush, and they'll never find me.
Honestly, by the time I heard the end of this, I was like, "Oh, so that officer is a hero."
Let me continue.
Okay.
Butler, according to the prosecutor, endangered other motorists as he weaved in and out of traffic, drove in the wrong lane, and into oncoming traffic during the chase. The chase ended when Butler fell off his scooter as he tried to cross the median on Tawny Williams-Darling Highway. Butler then charged at the officer and punched him multiple times in the face. Butler also tried to grab the officer's 9mm pistol from his holster. Off-duty Sergeant Travis Johnson. Travis Strawn. Sorry.
What? How do you get that word wrong?
Friday morning. You're right. That name. What type of word is that? Strawn was in his private car when he saw his colleague under attack. He ran out to the scene and ordered Butler to stop while holding his firearm in the low-ready position. Butler was subsequently arrested and charged. He pleaded guilty to assaulting a peace officer, resisting arrest, not having the required government ID, driving in a manner dangerous to the public, driving a vehicle without third-party insurance coverage, and driving a vehicle without a valid driver's license. He pleaded not guilty to unlawful possession of the scooter. Butler's lawyer, Glendon...
Wait. Unlawful possession of a scooter sounds like he took somebody's scooter without their knowledge.
Oh, boy.
Which, once again, had he just gotten the ticket, you wouldn't be this deep in a hole.
Well, again, nobody's, as you said, thinking. Butler's lawyer, Glendon Roll, asked the court to consider giving him a conditional discharge. Roll suggested anger management classes, as he explained that Butler was provoked when the officer kicked him off his bike.
You know where they have great anger management classes? At Foxhole Prison.
You sure? I don't know if they do.
Well, I know.
You hope they do.
Well, they probably do. Well, you know who does? What's it called?
It just doesn't make
Rehabilitation
sense.
Center.
Right.
And they're next door. So
it just doesn't make sense to get angry there, that's all. But anyway, after legal arguments over whether a policeman was a peace officer, why? Anyway, the magistrate adjourned the matter to July 15th. Okay.
That's people getting petty. Now, so here's the thing. You admit that you did all of these things and that you are completely wrong in every regard. The fact that the officer kicked him off of the bike after he was endangering the lives of so many people is even more commendable of the officer. And people like, how the officer could kick him off a moving vehicle? Because if he did run into somebody and cause somebody swerve and they kill a child or some foolishness, it'd be a very different story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? That officer did a marvelous job in pursuing this man. Probably when he finally catch up to him, the guy hit him a couple of times, whatever, and people saying, I've heard people say, why didn't the PC, why didn't he pull out his gun and do it? Because clearly this guy was reaching for his gun. Mm-hmm. And the whole situation, what we have here is something that I was not expecting to see, but what we have is officers acting not only with a remarkable degree of intelligence and reading the situation, but self-control and restraint. Right? We have two officers, and so like now realizing that they've been commendated, it's like these guys should be they deserve all the commendations and deserve that recognition because they
acted in the way they should act. And
beyond what they should act.
Yes, and this is what we should come to expect.
Right.
This should be the norm.
Right.
And it is wonderful that they did that. Yeah.
And so it's like I'm speechless at the level. This is a wonderful level of police work.
Yep. And
and if only that young man, I think he should be given a cell in Foxhill so he has time to think about it, because say, you should just let him go in and get and tell him.
No, there needs to be more. And the fact that you will, after all of that you will try to fight the officer, and this is ridiculous, right?
Because he kicked you off a thing?
That's absolute nonsense. I thought he was on some sort of narcotic or something, actually. Looking at this guy must be on salts or something.
It don't even matter. You know what you need? You need a moment to calm down, and if that means that you need to go to Foxhill, then go there to calm down.
Yeah.
But it can't be like, because then if that's the case, if I ever commit a crime, I'd be like, this whispers in my lawyer, ask them if I could get anger management. Instead, I only thieved the money because I was mad.
Right. Mad because I didn't have any food.
Right. Or $1 million. I wanted $1 million.
Too. You're mad that you're not rich.
Right.
Yeah. Why is that guy rich and I'm not rich? So I was mad. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
How you all doing today?
Doing well.
Good.
Awesome. Listen, my police officer put himself in harm's way to affect a legal arrest. I appreciate that. I hear a lot of weakness in his training because, you see, he should never, I hope it never happen again, where any police allow themselves to be placed in that position again. When, after you then catch up with the suspect, you have a gun. Never let the criminal at that point, okay? At that point, once the law is broken, that person gave up their right from being a decent, law-abiding citizen to becoming a criminal. That criminal, your gun should have been pulled on that criminal, and that criminal should have been told who you are if they're not sure who you are, okay, just for the point of information. Listen, and then made to go flat on their face, on their belly.
I think he knew who he was. The man, the officer was in uniform.
I'm just saying, in some cases they could be plain clothes.
Yeah, but we're talking specifically about this case. I don't think
all right, specifically about this case, Hannah.
Right? I feel like you're besmirching the good name and reputation of these officers because
no, you're wrong. You're totally wrong, Hannah. Hannah, I'm a Miller, bro. Listen to me. Millers is think.
All right.
I'm saying I want my officers in the future, okay, as a result of that incident, to not approach criminals if they have a gun. You make that criminal, especially if the criminal ain't got no gun, but get on the ground.
Well, you won't know.
And if you don't go on the ground, I shoot you on the ground.
No, you can't do that. But I hear you, and
no, it's a different situation because they were in close proximity. Had his gun already been out, we don't know if when he got off of his motorcycle, because the guy was already off of his cycle, right? If he could have lost control of the weapon, you have to know where you are. Mm-hmm. You got to get your bearings before you start whipping out deadly weapons, right? And so it's like there's nothing to say that he wasn't going to draw his weapon, but in that moment he realized that was not the best thing to do.
Well, this goes back to what we've been talking about quite a bit over the past few weeks. We need also tasers. We need to have devices like that so that we don't. Right? If you're not listening, you seem to be belligerent.
I on the fence with that.
Yeah.
And this thing.
Well, if you act like this and you're coming at me like you're trying to fight.
I don't like guns, but the problem is we see in the States where persons are like, "Oh, I thought that gun was my taser."
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying, like, we don't need to.
First of all, we don't buy that when they say that. When we don't buy it when they say that, and in the moment, I can't. And this thing, you're right. I don't wish to believe it, but at the same time, it's like I don't want. We see where missteps have been made, so let's try to. There are ways to de-escalate without drawing a weapon. There are ways to perhaps all officers, if they're in pursuit, they should call for backup immediately, right? Perhaps there are other steps and other methods that we could do, but. You can't have an officer with a taser and a gun, and you also can't have an officer with just a taser. Why can't you have an officer with a taser and a gun?
Because we know we're getting happening.
No,
somebody gets shoot and they can say, "Oh, I thought it was my taser."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, we don't buy it, but okay. All right, and then I was, the last time someone said that, I think the taser was a totally different color as well.
Yeah, so it was big and bulky and yellow.
Right, it was square. Or orange. It was crazy. And so how?
And I bet that person got off.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Golly, they just talking voice along with you and Stephen, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Dwight, I want to speak on an issue pertaining to Haiti and also the guy and the police. Okay?
Okay.
Now, let me ask the question first. Did the guy have on any helmet?
I don't recall. I don't know.
Okay. One portion you read where he fell off his bike, or the bike. Secondly, the second point is you said he was kicked off his bike.
According to the court report, according to what his lawyer said.
This is what the prosecutor is saying. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The thing is, right, the police should have had his booking book in his pocket with his pen when he approached the guy.
No, Raymond, there's a video, and it's very clear that this wasn't going to work like that. This
These
guy
super
was
cops?
attacking him, and he was they were fighting in the street. So it's not quite that. It wasn't a pleasant. And again, that's what happened initially. He tried when he approached and he went to get his ticket book.
Right.
That happens all the time. You stay right here. I'll be back. Right? You don't pull off like a psychopath. Who does that? You're looking for trouble.
No, but I don't understand all these super cops who are like, oh, was the officer, did his shoes is polished? Well, that's the problem. You got to polish your shoe because no criminal could catch you if your shoe's shiny.
Let's take this call quickly. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. Good morning, Stephen.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Stephen. I'm not sure if you're speaking sarcasm or you just exaggerating this morning. Which is it?
Which part?
I mean, do you want the officers to have a taser or a gun or both or none at all? Should they walk around with a whistle when a bad guy comes at them with a knife?
I'm confused. How did you get to that conclusion?
Well, you don't want them to have a taser.
Right. And so
And you don't think they should have a gun?
I did not say I never said they shouldn't have a gun.
They shouldn't have both, he said.
When you ask him, should they have a taser?
Right.
What did he say?
He doesn't agree with the taser.
I think that we might need to find a different means.
So you don't think they should have a taser also?
What are you talking
My
about?
question is, should they have a whistle when a bad guy comes at them with a knife?
He doesn't have a problem with the firearm.
I have no problem with them having a gun on them because they're persons who have guns. Right?
Okay, here's another question. What are the stats of someone accidentally picking up a loaded weapon versus picking up a taser and shooting somebody? What's the stats on that?
I don't have it. Do you have it with you?
It's very rare.
Is that the number? Is that the number? The official number is very rare.
Less than one.
You know, it's
0.1%. Less than 0.1%.
I think it's because I'm on this.
And this is just United
people
States
are more,
numbers, not
people are
Bahamas,
more
we don't have to-
aggressive this morning.
No, but I'm just saying, just don't exaggerate on these serious matters.
I'm not exaggerating.
Well, as we
on
said,
anything.
we don't know necessarily
Did you
believe
hear
the
what I
officers
said?
who say that.
My point is, you're saying that someone could accidentally pick up the gun instead of a taser, but I'm saying those are very, very rare incidents.
Yes, and to the
And
family
that came from
members
the
of
U.S.,
the,
which was one case.
No, it wasn't one case.
That clearly wasn't no accident.
It's more than one case, and those family members who've lost somebody.
You can't name 10 of those.
But listen,
You can't name five.
that's not fair.
I can't name
But
10
let me
names.
tell you something. What's
I'm just
more,
saying, don't exaggerate on these serious matters. That's all I'm saying.
all right. But you know, a better way to make the point though is that nobody ever says, "I was reaching for my gun, but I accidentally pulled out the taser." So that proves to me something that I'm not buying the stories about, right? Because you don't accidentally reach for your taser when you wanted your gun.
Here's the thing, Dwight.
So stop it.
Here's the thing, Dwight. What you feel as though they should have tasers and guns?
Yes.
I don't. Do you hear us at each other's throat?
No, it's fine.
Because neither of us are police officers. We're just giving out what our personal opinion is. We're going to leave it to both persons who have actual statistics and actual training in the field to make this decision.
But
right?
I'm pretty sure that a taser in this situation would have been perfect.
And perhaps it would have been.
Yeah.
I can't say that because I'm not a professional police officer, unlike every caller who's called in today. All right? They're all super cops. They fought with Jackie Chan and Sylvester Stallone, and they know how to disarm any assailant with a pencil. All right? And suddenly, they're upset with me. They're saying I'm being sarcastic because I say I don't feel comfortable with something. I'm very confused.
Well, I tell you, the people we're very tense.
No,
we're very
it's
tense.
the microphone. Because when I'm home on my
You
Yeti
also
blue
hear
mic,
the wrong thing.
No. When I'm on my blue Yeti mic, they hear clearly what I'm saying. They don't
No.
misunderstand.
No,
It's
they-
these mics.
they-
Y'all need
they
new mics.
misunderstand.
What is this? What's brand?
We get the text messages. They misunderstand you when you're on Zoom too.
No.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Everybody knows text is worse than calls.
Oh, stop. Good morning. Are you there? Hi.
Dwight, I haven't finished.
Oh, okay.
So what I want to say, right, on the police situation and the guy, right? Before I get to the Haitian situation, that was not professionally dealt with by the police.
Okay. Well, we'll have to disagree with you on that one.
Yeah,
No, he's
because
been on the police force
that's
for 10
my
years.
opinion, my observation, according to what you had read.
Okay.
Secondly, when it comes to the let me explain something. The guy, if the guy didn't have on a helmet, now I used to drive motorbike. I still have my helmet right on my shelf now from all those years. He could have gotten hurt. Okay.
Okay.
And you're not supposed
That's
to.
exactly why he shouldn't have pulled off when the officer pulled him over to give him a
agree,
ticket.
But like I've said, the police
And he could have hurt many people.
He
So what is he supposed to do? Let him go?
No, he could have been more professional. He didn't have to let him go.
He wasn't wearing. The police wasn't wearing a tie.
Oh, okay.
No,
Anyway,
you're saying the
I
guy,
don't argue that.
the bad guy should have been, if he wasn't wearing a helmet. That's what you're talking about, right?
He deserves justice. No, I'm not saying
Right.
that.
You're saying that the officer shouldn't have tried to kick him off the bike because he wasn't wearing a helmet. He could have hurt himself if he had fallen. That's what you're saying,
He
right?
can hurt himself.
Yeah, well, that's too
The
bad.
officer
That's what
could have
happened.
hurt him.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, well, that would have been too bad. What are you doing? Why are you driving in the opposite direction? No, seriously, that person was being an idiot. You're you're riding in the opposite side of the road. Yeah, you're going to get hurt, and other people are going to get hurt too. Think about that. No. We need the people of this country to stop being stupid. Stop being stupid. The police pull you over, cooperate, and stop being an idiot.
Right.
Simple as that.
And even if you feel like the police is in the wrong,
yes,
think about this. Why don't you wait until you are with your lawyer? Make it to your lawyer. That's all. That's literally all you need to do. Make it to the point where your lawyer is there. Do not say, "Oh, I gotta fight the police officer," because that will never end well for you. Don't say, "I'm going to drive up the wrong way on a highway," because that's not going to end well for anybody.
My goodness.
And it's like,
More professional. This man.
No, but everybody keep on
assaulted a peace officer.
Help me
resisted arrest. Didn't have a
And he didn't know the
ID. Driving in a manner dangerous to the public. Driving a vehicle without third-party insurance. If you crash into you, you'd have to fix it yourself. Yeah, that makes sense to you. And driving without a valid driver's license. And
he don't own the bike.
Shouldn't
And
have
it
been on
wasn't
that
his
scooter.
bike.
This man needs to be buried somewhere in that prison.
And the thing is, he pled guilty to everything. He didn't say, "Oh, no, I do that one. Die me." So like, I don't understand this whole, the police should have been more professional. What would you like for him to give the guy a sandwich before he arrest him? To give him a back rub?
Put on a helmet on him.
And
Here,
then kick
I'm
him
going
off
to
the
chase
bike.
you now.
Okay.
Put on this helmet so you don't get hurt.
So all officers,
Let's go.
Carry 2 helmets with you.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more of what's making news on this Friday. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Let us always walk with God and heed the teachings of the Lord. Let justice be for one and all, short and tall, big and small. Let us stand up straight and tall.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Time for your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. We've got heavy traffic on Smile Butler Highway as usual. This is just north of Fire Trail, the northbound lanes to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Glaston Road also busy for you this morning, northbound to JFK Drive. Eastbound on Carmichael as you head toward Blue Hill Road, you're going to be seeing that traffic there. And on Blue Hill Road, just north of Soldier Road, the northbound lanes to Independence Drive. Heavy traffic there this morning. Building traffic on Carmichael Road westbound, heading out to Coral Harbor Road this morning. And we are seeing pockets along Shirley Street just west of Village Road. You're going to be seeing some heavy traffic there on your way to Mackey Street this morning. Elsewhere, not looking so bad so far, but we'll have another real-time report for you after the 8 o'clock news. That's your Morning Blend Traffic Alert brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. And time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Rev Cable Bahamas. Here's what's happening. We've got an elongated ridge of high pressure that will generate moderate to fresh breezes across the islands. Meanwhile, tropical moisture lingering across the northern islands will trigger some increased shower activity through tonight. Boaters in the extreme northwest Bahamas need to look out for water spouts, and beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents. mainly along eastern shorelines. For all areas today, we're looking at partly sunny to sunny, hot, and hazy conditions. Breezy as well, with the chance of a few isolated showers and thunderstorms, mainly over portions of the northwest Bahamas today, becoming mostly fair and warm, with a stray shower or two possible tonight. Small craft caution in effect for the southeast and central Bahamas. High temperatures today getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, but the heat index will be a major factor in the triple digits again, up to 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. In your extended outlook, that ridge will remain anchored across the area, while a mid to upper level disturbance will trigger some showers as it migrates westwards across the islands through the weekend. So for tomorrow, Independence Day, variably cloudy, warm, and breezy, with passing showers and a few thunderstorms. And as we head into the holiday weekend, Sunday, variably cloudy, warm, and breezy with passing showers and a few thunderstorms. In the tropics, there's Elsa. We'll tell you more about that after the 8 o'clock news. And there is a broad area of low pressure over the southern Texas area that has a very low chance, close to 0% chance for tropical cyclone formation through the next 5 days. But that is your morning blend weather check brought to you by Rev Cable Bahamas. Rev, you and us together.
The summer you deserve is here at Alive. We do it better. Capture more moments and go further with our prepaid plans for everyone. Roam free with postpaid and stay connected with MiFi on the go anywhere, anytime. We do it better with more device offerings, accessories, exclusive deals with the list, and so many opportunities to win big. From travel vouchers, grocery vouchers, Alive merch, and more. Alive. Believe in best.
Put me in your pocket, take me away, yeah, I'm ready for you.
Travel less, but vacation more by indulging yourself and your family with the ultimate staycation getaway at Atlantis. Sleep in, relax, play, go out. Say yes to a fantastic staycation in your very own paradise just over the bridge. For reservations, call 363-6483 or visit Atlantis Local on Facebook for details.
RBC Royal Bank introduces our new Saturday banking services on Saturday, July 17th at Cable Beach, Carmichael, and Prince Charles, operating 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. New services will focus on helping clients with advice-oriented needs and getting them more comfortable with RBC digital banking. Cash will only be available through our ATMs and accepted for deposits via our ATMs or non-stop depository services. If you have questions, call our advice center at 356-8500. Reimagine Saturday services with RBC.
As a people, Bahamians are anxious about the future. Feeling down and out, unsure in these unprecedented times? We need to believe that love's coming back. Join us Tuesday, July 13th at 11 a.m. at lovescomingback.com for the virtual launch of Love's Coming Back, an inspiring new anthem from Grammy Award-winning founding member of the Eurythmics, songwriter, producer Dave Stewart, which will premiere globally at 12 noon. Presented by Bay Street Records, Bahamas National Trust, and BrylandAid.org.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
Independence morning is like a baby warning. Independence morning is like a baby warning. On July 10th, 1973, Bahamians everywhere were free, free to shape their destiny in the land of the rolling sea. Man and woman, boy and girl, there is none which.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hatt. That's for several people who love that.
Everybody loves that song.
playing that just for them.
You know what I
who
realized?
you know who you are.
This room is very wet.
Hmm?
This room
Sorry?
is wet.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
I mean, acoustically speaking, the room, the reverb in this room is significant.
Okay,
That's all.
Do you like it?
Not really. 'Cause
Oh, boy.
It actually sounds more. The condenser mics are helping.
We could save that conversation for off.
But I'm just saying, like when I take off the headphones,
at all.
it sounds very different.
Okay, well, that's. Thank you. I don't know what to say. This person says here, look at it this way, Dwight. Because of that guy's dumbness, the officers ended up with some extra shingles. Okay, well, yeah, sure.
I like how people still trying to fit that into. It will never become a part of the regular vernacular.
This one says here, I don't know if I agree with the officer acting in a good manner. We are only talking about him being a hero because the guy did not get his gun. Had he gotten the officer's gun, which could have happened in a split second, we could have been talking differently. That officer should have pulled his gun in order to hold the guy at bay. I've seen a lot of us police fight with a lot of our police. Is that what you're saying? Police fight with people and the police get shot with their own gun. I was pulling my gun a long time.
See, but here's you can't get shot with your gun if your gun isn't out of the holster.
Well, if the guy had grabbed it.
Yeah, but I don't think that the whole, and somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm sure a caller will. All right, I don't think that these holsters they're not like cowboy holsters where it's just a leather strap keeping it in. There's a certain mechanism to get it out.
Hey, these bad guys know how to do everything. It seems they would know.
No, well,
know.
they must be related to the callers because the callers know everything.
But honestly, I would have pulled my gun. I would have gotten that close to him.
But here's the thing.
Pulled my gun. Get down. Get down.
Everybody
get down,
keeps saying
get
that,
down.
and here's the thing. I literally witnessed on Wednesday a police officer pull over on a police officer on a motorcycle, pull over somebody who was in a car, and he did not walk up to the car. He was like 3 feet behind, got off his motorcycle, pulled out his gun, and said, "Get out of the car." All right? Which is how they usually proceed. I think that this officer was trying to not escalate a situation. All right? And also, because this guy's on a bike, if he had started off with his gun out, this guy clearly is an idiot. I was going to speed off. Anyway.
We're not saying that. But when you,
I'm
when
saying
you get
that.
off, you're already in the
Everybody else-
median, and as the guy is approaching you to try to fight.
At that point, it was like, unless he was going to headshot this guy, which then would have been a whole different thing.
No,
Right?
I don't think it would have.
I'm just saying,
would have come to that.
I don't know, right? And maybe you're right. Maybe it could have been differently or whatever. But I feel like under this circumstance, I'm glad with the outcome that we got. I'm glad hearing the story from the court, how it went along. I'm glad with that officer's actions. That's my personal opinion.
Okay. All right. This one here. Police don't engage in vehicle chases unless the vehicle is involved in a murder, armed robbery, or some other serious offenses.
You know that to be a fact?
I don't know what you're talking about. You mean you're suggesting they don't? Or what are you saying? Because that's not the case. If you look suspicious, if the vehicle's been acting in a suspicious manner, there will be a chase. I don't know what you're saying. Perhaps you're saying they shouldn't. Now, if you want to talk about whether police chases make sense, that's a different story. But
but in this situation, I felt like it was warranted.
Yes, I mean there were bikes. I was like, oh, sure, but it could have ended. It could have been a problem as well.
If the person was in a car,
yeah,
it still would have. Like the whole thing is like somebody who is driving erratically to escape police is only going to be. It's hard for me to say that the police shouldn't pursue that person.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. We're going to break for news. When we come back, we're going to talk about this concert, the Bahamian artists getting their way. There's going to be a concert for secular artists later this month. We're going to get into that. And then Stephen's going to debut his new song just in time for Independence. Right. A lot to get to this morning. And
It's the song that we all need.
The song that we all need and deserve, he says. Yeah. And then later we're going to get into our discussion about independence. We've got a lot of your text messages and we want to hear from you this morning. So a lot to get to. This is Morning Blend on this pre-Independence Day. Independence Eve. Stay with us.
Come on, baby, just show me what you got. Show me what you got. Push back, turn around, tremble it up and down, shake it with energy. Why like you're crazy? Push back, turn around, tremble it up and down, do it with energy. And why like you're crazy?
It's Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:24, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here's what's happening. We've got an elongated ridge of high pressure that will generate moderate to fresh breezes across the country, while tropical moisture lingering across the northern islands will trigger some increased shower activity through tonight. Boaters near the extreme northwest Bahamas should be alert for water spouts, and beachgoers in the central and southeast Bahamas should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents at eastern shorelines today. For all areas for today, partly sunny to sunny, hot, hazy, and breezy conditions expected with a chance of a few isolated showers and thunderstorms, mainly over portions of the northwest Bahamas, becoming mostly fair and warm with a stray shower or two possible tonight. Small craft caution in effect for the central and southeastern islands. Temperature-wise, we're looking at highs getting up to around 91 Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius. The heat index will make it feel like 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 75 Fahrenheit, 24 Celsius. In your extended outlook, the ridge will remain anchored across the area, while a mid to upper level disturbance will trigger some shower activity as it migrates westwards across the islands throughout the weekend. So for Saturday, tomorrow, we're expecting variably cloudy, warm, and breezy conditions with passing showers and a few thunderstorms. Sunday, variably cloudy, warm, and breezy with passing showers and a few thunderstorms. In the tropics, we're watching a broad area of low pressure over southern Texas, but really it's not going to be much. Very little chance, close to 0% chance of developing into a tropical cyclone over the next 5 days. Tropical storm Elsa still an issue for the United States. Elsa's racing across southeastern New Jersey now, and a flash flooding threat continues for the mid-Atlantic and northeastern states. As of 5 o'clock, Elsa was about 5 miles east of Atlantic City in New Jersey. Elsa's moving toward the northeast near 31 miles per hour. And that's fast, and this general motion is expected to continue with an increase in forward speed during the next couple of days. On the forecast track, Elsa will pass through the eastern mid-Atlantic states early this morning, move near or over the northeastern United States by late morning and this afternoon. Through tonight, the system could move out over Atlantic Canada by late tonight and Saturday. Maximum sustained winds are near 50 miles per hour. No significant change in strength is expected through today, and Elsa is forecast to become a post-tropical cyclone by tonight. That is your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. What's first for you comes first for us. .27, time for your final look at traffic for this morning on this Friday before the holiday weekend. And as usual, Smart Butler Highway, your hot spot this morning from Fire Trail all the way up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway, the northbound lanes. In fact, from south of Fire Trail, you're going to be seeing that traffic there. And it's going to be a long commute for you this morning. Glasson Road also busy, northbound to JFK Drive. South on Mile Butler Highway, you're going to be seeing that traffic there at that junction with Carmichael Road. Some congestion there. And westbound on Carmichael towards Coral Harbor Road, there's building traffic there as well. Eastbound on Carmichael, we're seeing traffic building as you approach Blue Hill Road. And Blue Hill Road is going to be congested from between St. Vincent and Soldier Road, and especially north of Soldier Road, in the northbound lanes as you get closer to the Independence Drive roundabout. Elsewhere, East Street South is also looking busy, especially south of the roundabout with Independence Drive and East-West Highway, and down to Malcolm Road. Mainly the northbound lanes there, but also southbound in some portions. And the junction, the intersection with Soldier Road, looking busy this morning for you. Soldier Road and Windsor Place having some issues this morning also. Then in eastern New Providence, we've got Wolf Road looking pretty busy, especially near Soldier Road, Bernard Road, Village Road, that intersection there. And again, as you get closer to Mackey Street. And Mackey Street's looking busy for you this morning as well, northbound. Shirley Street's got some issues from Eastern Road, westbound all the way up to Mackey Street. You're going to be seeing that this morning. And on West Bay Street near Arawak Key and Nassau Street, you'll be seeing quite a few vehicles in front of you. And East Bay Street, once you get past the old Paradise Island Bridge. So, some issues out there this morning. Keep that in mind. Pack your patience on this Friday. That's your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC Royal Bank. Banking Reimagined.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Independent Bahamas, 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 independent Bahamas, Bahamas, for independence, glory, independent Bahamas, for independent Bahamas, independent Bahamas, Bahamas, Bahamas. We now get together, brothers and sisters, to join in unity for independence.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with Stephen Hanna. We are talking about what's in the news this morning. And after they made it clear that they weren't happy with how they had been treated with the independence celebrations, Bahamian artists, mainly secular artists, are getting their moment in the spotlight. The government has agreed to hold a virtual concert for them, or with them, at the end of the month. For more on this and what happened yesterday, take a listen to this report from our Kyle Joaquin.
Independence celebrations, 48 Bahamian artists will get their opportunity to hit the stage for a virtual concert event. However, the gospel event they all spoke out against, set for Friday, still goes on as planned. Kyle Joaquin has the details.
There was no direct attempt to leave anyone out. There may have been some person not really in agreement with everything that was done, but I don't think there was a deliberate effort.
The Youth, Sports and Culture Minister insisting there was no attempt to disrespect or disregard any Bahamian artist after they were left off of this year's Independence Celebration lineup set for Friday night. Those artists came together to let their voices be heard, and now the ministry has agreed to a 2-night concert event where 48 Bahamian artists will perform.
I'd like to thank the Honorable Prime Minister and colleague members of the Cabinet for their consideration and understanding for the art and advocates for Bahamian culture and entertainment.
The gospel-themed Independence Celebration set for Friday will continue as planned without those artists.
During the meeting with the creative community, because of the time constraints, with only 3 days to go prior to the event that is planned, through their professional approach, they made it clear that they won't have the time to do anything of quality on the level that they are capable of.
There was one person noticeably absent from today's press conference, Independence Committee Chairman Mark Humes, whom many of the artists took issue with. Lewis tried to explain his absence.
Remember, this is not the Independence Secretariat. This was a direct answer to a question, to a proposal that was given to us by the creative community. So again, this is something that is totally different. But again, this is still Bahamian. This is still our culture, and there's no direct disconnect from that.
Well, we asked Humes why he wasn't present at the press conference. He said he didn't know what was happening. However, he added he is so busy with Friday's event, he probably couldn't attend anyway. He said he met with the minister to discuss the concert event and how they can move forward to ensure culture is included in everything involving independence. The 2-day event will be virtual and will take place July 30th and 31st. These artists now hoping for stronger communication with the government from here on.
We are excited about this partnership, and we look forward to fostering this relationship with a view of deepening the impact of the arts and entertainment community has on our great country.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
All right, let's get your views on this, folks. Well, it was too late to incorporate it in the gospel concert. That was the gospel, is it a concert? The gospel event, the virtual gospel event that was already recorded.
The gospel extravaganza.
Okay, that's already set to go and finished and just, right there, editing that. So that couldn't happen. But is an event at the end of the month fine? Is that acceptable, suitable, great? What do you make of it? And yeah, let's get your views. Tell us what you think.
Yeah. And then when it's poorly supported, they're going to use it as an
excuse. Well, it's a
to
virtual
see
event. I mean, how
when
will
it's
you
poorly
determine?
supported, right? Because it just pops up out of nowhere and it isn't given any advertisement and no promotion, and it just literally is happening at a random time.
It's a virtual event.
People, you say that, but it's like these things still need eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the Independence Celebration last year?
I did.
Okay. Not everybody did. Wait,
No.
Which one did you watch? Did you watch the one with the family sitting down on their couch at home?
There was only one, right? Was there more than one?
No, there was another one where
What was-
it was, which is also a 4-hour church service disguised as a play.
Weren't they all in one?
No.
Well, I don't know what I watched last year. I saw pieces of it, but
There was one
there
where,
was singing. There
like,
was singing involved, and
it was mostly singing.
Right.
It was like 5 minutes of acting and 2.5 hours of singing, right? Because, I guess when you find something, stick with it. But and very preachy. But I do not have faith and confidence that the thing at the end of the year, month, day, whatever, is going to accomplish what it is that needs to be accomplished. Which
Okay.
is, the whole point of it is that it's supposed to be, if this is an independence celebration, it should be a celebration for all Bahamians to celebrate. It shouldn't be that it is only going to appeal to a certain demographic of Bahamians, right? And people seem to be afraid, and I hear even the artists afraid to say the truth aloud. The truth is, you cannot make it a gospel situation, because imagine now, imagine any other sector of society, if somebody suddenly said to you, "Oh, you could only be a farmer if you're Muslim. You could only sell liquor if you're Catholic." People would be like, "What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. That sentence doesn't. What are you saying?" right? And it's like, but we're saying, okay, for the Bahamians Independence Celebration, just gospel music.
Well, this is the same question I'm going to ask.
And then the other thing is, all these artists who keep on saying, "Oh, it's not about the money." Please stop.
Yeah.
You're not. It is about all of it. It's about all of the above.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask a question today that I asked a few days ago when we were talking about this. I mean, why are we leaving this up again to the government? Why is it in their hands? We need this to be done on a community level.
Yes.
We need to reimagine how we do this and what we are to do for independence.
Right. Like how we. That's how we started the whole entire conversation this morning. Where it's like,
and we're going to continue that later. Yep. Absolutely.
So it's like, I mean, I don't want to burn out through that whole topic
right.
just yet. But it's like,
but we need to start thinking about that because every year we are disappointed, we are upset, somebody's upset. And
where's the Christmas
longer?
decorations? Remember when we was young? And then when they bring up the Christmas decorations, why does tree look like a bad dream from Tim Burton? Like, what's going on? Like we have to, on a personal level, yes, we demand more from the government. We demand more from corporate Bahamas, but we must also demand more of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Right? The thing is, those persons, I want you to sit down and think very hard about any Bahamian business that is 100% unique in terms of idea and product. That is not a copy of something from the United States. Think very deeply inside your soul. And when you find the one small or medium-sized business that's doing that, you have to realize that corporate Bahamas, governments follow the community. If we ain't putting up Christmas trees, they ain't putting up Christmas trees. If we only care about independence on the day of independence, they will only care about independence the day before so they could buy enough fireworks for us to stop complaining at midnight. They're not going to put their all into it. So it's like we have to care, and it has to be organic. It has to be a real thing.
All right, let's hear what our listeners have to say about this concert at the end of the month. Is this good enough? Is it too little, too late? Already a text is coming in saying that, Dwight, too little, too late. We see the government's foreigners' better mentality, I guess, coming through here. Okay, so 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796.
We don't have to make this a complicated argument like Civil War. The Civil War is about states' rights. No, it's about slavery.
Wow. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, guys. How are you this morning?
Doing well. Good morning.
Well, Dwight, isn't independence celebration a traditional thing that we celebrate our independence of being born in our country?
Okay.
Yes. I think this is a slap in the face to those secular artists. Let me tell you why. They were never included on this particular program. I'll say this why I said that. Because if they were included on this particular program, they wouldn't have the outbursts that they had because they would have been informed that they wouldn't be included this year. You understand what I'm saying? And how is it that you're going to celebrate something several months down the road that is being celebrated in another 2 or 3 days? How is that possible?
Couple weeks. But yeah.
I mean, but listen to me. It takes the fun out of the independence celebration that we're normally used to because it's a traditional thing that, wasn't it, you asked a question earlier about taking it out of the hands of the government. Wasn't it the government that took us to independence?
Okay.
Well, if they took us to independence, they should be responsible for the activities, but more Bahamian artists should be included. What do you think about that?
Remember Guy Fawkes Day?
Guy Fawkes Day is not a real day, it's just like Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day was a Valentine massacre, but women celebrated as a love day. Okay?
No, I mean Guy Fawkes Day is a real thing.
But Guy Fawkes is
yes, but also Valentine's massacre was a real thing also.
Okay, right. What I'm suggesting is that the reason why Guy Fawkes Day persisted even hundreds of years after his death in the Bahamas. One second, sir. Let me finish.
I understand what you're trying to go at, but you cannot compare with our Independence Day celebration. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, caller. But yeah, I don't know why you're bringing that up, though, Stephen. But make your point quickly.
My whole point is the reason why it persisted, even though we were no longer a British colony, even though it was hundreds of years after his
Not
death.
all of us celebrated it.
But I'm saying the reason why it persisted even when I was a child was because people celebrated it organically. The government didn't have to come and build a Guy Fawkes statue for you to burn an effigy, which is something that would have happened in the early days of it. Right? And so what we're suggesting is, right, we're not saying the government shouldn't do anything, but we're saying that Bahamians also must take a part of this. We can't just leave even our happiness to somebody else.
Right.
It's like
That's insane.
Is the government wrong in what they are doing? Yes. Is the government doing this Independence Day celebration incorrect? 100%. Right? Should we as Bahamians also be doing something to celebrate independence if we feel it is something worthy of being celebrated? Yes. That's what I'm saying. And the caller does not seem to be willing to give any space. He wants to die on the hill that everything is the government's fault. And so that is the hill that you must die on.
It's always easy to blame somebody else, right? I guess, when things go wrong. But every year we're blaming them. Every year, and every year we are disappointed.
They are worthy of contempt and blame, but at the same time...
Because who expects them? Do you expect them, as you said, to provide you with a fun time?
Right, and it's they're not good at fun times.
They only know how to make things worse.
Have you ever seen the House of Assembly? Is that what you want? No. And so it's like they are going to follow your lead. We have to do things for ourselves, and then they could come behind and say, "Oh yeah, we support this. We think Do you think the government started Junkanoo? Junkanoo started organically, and then the government say, "Oh, we could use this for tourists. Let's give them a little seed money." That's what happened.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Hi, good morning.
I hope you're doing well, and happy independence to you and all in the studio in the Bahamas.
Yes, same to you.
I was listening to the comments made by the minister. He didn't admit to anything that was wrong. The things that the musicians had said, he dismissed all of that, as if they were not overlooked with the celebrations. Now, I don't know what's supposed to be happening on Friday. Is that a Bahamian celebration, what they're supposed to be doing tonight? Is it
yes. I mean, it's tonight. It's Bahamian artists, but they're singing gospel music from outside of the country.
Outside of the country. So the issue was that they were against all of this music that is not Bahamian.
That's what they say, one of the main issues. And also that they weren't included. But that's what they say is one of the main issues as well.
One of the main issues, okay. Now, I understand that they're supposed to be doing something for the secular artists, I think 2 weeks down the road or something like that?
Right. They're looking at July 30th and 31st.
Okay, all right, okay. But that's the after effect now, because tonight or tomorrow is Independence. And you have to look at it and ask yourself, are we really serious about the national government in dealing with Bahamian people justly as far as our national celebrations are concerned? Why would you pick foreign music, which is not Bahamian, to play at your national celebrations? That's the question that needs to be asked.
Absolutely.
The minister himself admitted to nothing wrong. I do not see how the artists could come and say they're going to have such a good relationship with a government that never admits to its mistake. That could never happen, Mr. Strong. All you will have is people making excuses, and this is what I heard from the minister. Mr. Hume was asked why he was not there. According to him, he was not informed.
Right.
Now, something is seriously wrong. You listen to what he has said, you listen to what the minister is saying. Well, he said what the prime minister said, but I didn't hear that part. But the point is there are so many miscommunications by persons in this government, which is misleading to the Bahamian people. And that is not a good thing. And Brother Strachan, I must say that I listen to people talking about being free from the monarchy, Her Majesty the Queen. Do they understand that the Constitution of your country says the executive authority of this country is vested in Her Majesty the Queen? Would you explain to your audience what it means? Executive authority, that's one. And when something is vested in a particular personality, in this case, Her Majesty the Queen. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant holiday.
Thank you very much. Great hearing from you. It's been a while. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that is true, yeah. Okay.
Yes. All right. Talk to you soon, hopefully.
We can't get that controversial on the
rile the people up too much. But you need to keep thinking about that, folks. You need to keep thinking about that.
Have you ever had the conversation with the audience about the actual reason why we had the push for independence as opposed to the mythology.
You mean as in
with the
that
ships
how we
being
were
dumping nerve gas inside our water?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that
was one
part
of the
where
issues
America
there.
wanted to dump nerve gas and the British were like,
was
sure,
definitely-
whatever.
Definitely spurred that along, hey? Yeah,
I'm just saying, like that's what helped to push it. But it's like, but people often go with this mythology, like we knew it was our time to lead, and did
Right.
we?
Yeah.
Did we? I don't think it was that.
The long forgotten islands of the Bahamas. Right?
It wasn't the Bahamas, and it was Bahama.
The Bahama Islands. Let's take these calls quickly. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Okay. Is that? Yep. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
And the question what you asked about what we could do, okay, before the year 2000, there wasn't any junk canoe involved really in the independence celebrations.
Okay.
Before the year 2000. Only I think like, if we say me right, only like on particular years, like even years, I think, they used to have like little junk canoe groups rush across Griffith Park. So a group of us who were involved in junk canoe in 2000, we got together and we formed the Junk Canoe Development Association. And we decided that we was going to have a junk canoe rush on Independence morning because for most people know who love junk canoe is probably the number one cultural expression, especially on the island of New Providence.
Right.
So we decided as a group of people, junk canoers, we came together, we formed the Junk Canoe Association, and we started the People's Love and Unity Rush. The government didn't start it. We started it.
Right. And that's a perfect
us
example.
starting the People's Love and Unity Rush, it got more, especially young people, to take part in celebrating our independence. And what it also did, it spurred economic activity because, junk canoe, people to spend money.
And the vendors,
costumes.
But the vendors on the day
sales.
of.
Hello?
I was saying the vendors on the day of, people is be selling food. What? Like
Food, even before that, I talked about the T-shirt producers who produce T-shirts.
Yeah.
When we first started, we started selling T-shirts. And in the third year, it had grown so big, we decided, we don't want to be in the business of selling T-shirts because that's a lot of work. So we allowed the persons who, that's their livelihood, to sell T-shirts. All the trick stores, they started making, during that period of time, junk canoe time, they started making money. So there's no persons who are always complaining that why this isn't happening, that isn't happening.
We've got to do it ourselves.
You can do it ourselves. And one of the main reasons why, especially the corporate community, because events cost money. And the same group of persons who, every event, the politicians look to these same group of people to sponsor them for elections. So the people who want to start events, who don't have the money themselves, and they try to look for sponsorship, well, the people them and say, well, we sponsor this, we sponsor that, we sponsor the next thing. But nothing stops people from coming together themselves and starting their own celebration or whatever event. Also, what we did in 2003, we started an honoring ceremony. We started honoring people who've made outstanding contribution to junk canoe. We call it the Independence Junk Canoe Achievement Awards. And every year since we started it, we have awarded more than 100 persons, even sponsors, junk canoe sponsors who helped sponsor the parade, because without the sponsors, the parade wouldn't be the same. We started honoring those people.
What's your name, caller?
Say again?
I said, what's your name, caller?
My name?
Yeah.
Leslie Robinson.
All right. Mr. Robinson, what's the name of the association again?
The Junk Canoe Development Association. We were formed in the year 2000.
Excellent stuff.
And the thing about it is that when we started the first parade, we started from Malcolm Park. And that morning, we wasn't sure if anybody was going to show up to participate in the parade.
So you took a leap of faith.
We took a leap of faith. And when we walked, we started early, like I think the first parade started either 3 o'clock in the morning. And then when we started the Independence Junk Canoe Achievement Award, we do the ceremony in Rawson Square. So we moved to Rawson Square. And the second parade that we had, that was the most people I ever saw to a junk canoe parade in my lifetime.
Yeah.
The chicken parade. And every year it is growing. But the thing for me, what I love most about it is that it got the young people, because there are a lot of young people involved in Junkanoo,
Are you guys
to focus on independence, not just the celebratory part, That's what a lot of people look at. Okay? Right. We need more people to focus on what makes our country run and how our country is supposed to be run. So that when we elect these people to office, we will know, hey, look, we know they ain't following the laws of the country, they ain't following the Constitution. You see? And that's one of the biggest problems we have also. So there's no excuse, even with the musicians, unfortunately, to put on concerts and stuff, you need money, because if you want a proper professional stage and lighting and all that kind of thing, that costs money.
Mr.
And even with the government, on the government side of it, the government don't want to spend no bunch of money on independence.
Mr. Robinson, before you go, are you guys doing anything this year? I imagine.
The only thing that we could do this year is we have the ceremony. Of the ceremony, because we can't have no rush out.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can't have no rush out, but we have the honoring ceremony. We couldn't honor the people the honorees last year, so we had a double class of 2020 and 21 this year.
Excellent.
We already had it last night.
Well, hopefully, everything will be back next year. Hopefully,
yeah. Everything depends on if we still have these emergency orders hanging over our heads. All that. That's the most important thing.
But thank you so much for calling. I hope people are listening. This is how it needs to work. If you want it, we have to do it ourselves. We cannot rely. You never really could on the government. It's all up to us.
No, because the niggas say it ain't important if you ain't doing it. If you ain't doing it, it ain't important.
Yeah.
You ain't eating breakfast.
Let's take this break, and we'll be back with more. Stay with us.
We could win gold. Then lift up your heads to the rising sun. Our heroes left us a race to run.
Enjoy an elevated mobile experience with BTC, giving you
unlimited talk for the best conversations, unlimited data for all your online fun,
and unlimited roaming to stay connected while overseas.
For just $50 per line.
Unlock unlimited mobile talk, data, and roaming when you sign up for BTC Superfast Fiber Internet with speed starting at 100 megabits per second. Enjoy more great savings and value. Upgrade or sign up today. Visit any BTC store or btcbahamas.com. Conditions apply.
Let's face it, in an increasingly competitive market, your business needs a competitive edge. That means offering your employees the benefits they want. Give them the benefit of retiring their way with the RF Multi-Employer Pension Plan. Choose from some of the best performing investment funds in the market while taking advantage of low administrative costs and professional management. Whether you're a team of 2 or 2,000, our pension specialists can design a plan for you. Contact us at pensions@rfgroup.com to learn more about the RF Multi-Employer Pension Plan. RF, money at work.
Stay a step ahead of technology with certainty and support from Custom Computers. Our know-how team is here to help you zero in on your next big tech purchase, finding solutions that take your productivity to the next level using only the best and most reliable brands. With 4 stores all across Nassau on East Bay, West Bay, Old Fort Bay, and Palmdale, there's no stopping you from stepping up your tech. Reach out to us at 396-1100. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
There's only one way to have a better morning. How? Start your mornings the best way with our 2 for $6 breakfast sandwiches at Wendy's. For a limited time, choose any 2 of your favorite breakfast sandwiches, including the fresh Strachan sack muffin, honey buttermilk chicken biscuit, double sausage muffin, or the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Wash it all down with our cold brew shake or coffee. Better mornings always start at Wendy's. Wendy's, different inside and out. Excludes airport locations.
Switching your mortgage to CIBC First Caribbean is easy, affordable, and convenient. We'll help with your switching cost, give you 3 months payment free, and waive your commitment fees so you can enjoy the break you need. Plus, you'll get up to 95% financing and a pre-approved Visa Gold or Platinum credit card with 5,000 bonus reward points and more. Switch your home base to CIBC First Caribbean. Terms and conditions apply. Visit CIBCFCIB.com for more information.
Travel less, but vacation more by indulging yourself and your family with the ultimate staycation getaway at Atlantis. Sleep in, relax, play, go out. Say yes to a fantastic staycation in your very own paradise just over the bridge. For reservations, call 363-6483 or visit Atlantis Local on Facebook for details.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
sun comes up with a burning glow, shines down on paradise below. I'm talking about the Bahamas, you know, a beautiful archipelago. Now go, 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 brag about we beauty. Tell them we friendly. Oh, tell them we proud of we country. Tell them they could come see. Then say I'm proud to be a Bahamian. Proud to be a Bahamian. Proud to be a Bahamian, yes. God gave this land to me. Onward, upward together, boasting our rich culture, inspiring our young.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Stephen Hanna. We have a lot to get to. And we're going to continue our conversation into Morning Blend business this morning. As you heard, this is business, and it is very important how we celebrate our independence. And it seems that we are challenged with what we're doing. We just heard from our wonderful caller there about how important it is for us to take the initiative to do what we want to mark occasions like this, and relying on the government to do it is foolhardy, right? So that's what we're talking about. But we're getting a reaction to the government agreeing to hold a virtual concert for secular artists at the end of the month. We heard some people say earlier that it's too little too late, that 2 weeks from now, what is the point of that when independence is now? We want to hear from you. Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Dwight. How's you? How you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, listen, the purpose of the press conference to say there was left out of the July the 10th celebration. Dwight and Stephen, in my opinion, July the 30th will not be the celebration of our independence. It will be a celebration of the government campaign to go back in office. What do you say on that? I think the artists are being fully delusionalized to get into the campaign and to bring a new awareness that, hey, these people care about the artists. These people care about their campaign to win in the January election. I urge them not to be fooled by that.
Okay.
But you know, when you speak louder than words sometimes.
I hear you. Well, you can see. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I guess you're free to see it any way you want. But okay. I mean, hey, there's something to it. Well, good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, Dwight, between me and you and who is listening, why July 30th and 31st and not next week? Why?
Why not Monday? It's a virtual concert.
Okay? You see, you've got a government that is manipulating us. Okay? The government knows just what time it is, and they're going to wait this thing out to the very end, and they know they're gone, you know. Thanks for letting me share.
Okay, well, thanks a lot. Wow. Well, you said it, we were going to try to turn down the temperature, but it's getting pretty worked up.
I like the Lakers, but I hate basketball.
What? That's
how
it's working here?
Right, because it's like we like, how are we still talking about politics on independence? Like, it's one thing to be like, okay, the government should have done better, but like now it's like they know they gone. Ring the bell. They need to go.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well. Hi.
You know, when I call, I ain't call the customer corner. Let me tell you something. That's a financial carrot, and it's a disgrace. You understand me? Those performers, they let me down. Because if you can have, like you say, the concert surrounding the actual time of the event, it's just a financial carrot they dangle in the front of them. So obviously that means they in it for a couple of dollars and they ain't patriotic. True patriotism transcends all financial, religious, political, and color barriers. A true patriot, it wouldn't mind to them in terms of finances. They love their country. You understand me? They let me down. Those artists let me down. Talking about 2 weeks later, they should have told the government, take that carrot and stick that. That's the reason why they can't get nothing done, especially when they had the carnival thing the other day. All of Freddie Bunnings and all them, half of them artists gone against themselves. So thanks for taking my call.
All right, thanks a lot. Let's get through these messages really quickly. This one says here, I'm happy that the artists get to showcase their talents at the end of the month. If the theme this year is giving thanks and focus on God, I wouldn't want to compete with that because it will always be a losing battle. But they go on to say, I listen to the radio on a daily basis, and 90% of the songs played are from foreign artists. Any major concert held here, the main performers are foreigners. We really cherry-pick issues. The only excuse the secular artists have now is that the other Bahamian talents are doing foreign songs. We ain't serious. Oh, boy. Okay.
Well, you'll hear some new Bahamian music on the other side of the 9 o'clock hour.
Yes. A couple more messages as we go to the break. This one says, what the caller is saying, it takes initiative to start something meaningful. We complain about everything. Stop waiting on the government. That's what we've been saying all week. This one says here, I think our Bahamian artists should boycott the musical event. They should be singing Bahamian songs. Our artists and songs should be featured first, not at the end of the month. Another one here.
Well, churches must be full on Sunday.
What now?
That is like, I don't worry about it.
Okay.
Let's not get dragged
This
into
one
the
here
conversation.
says, the entertainers are forgotten in this country. Here it is, our independence. The government seems to forget them. They had to beg to be recognized. And this one says, where is this concert being held? I hope not at the National Stadium. The amount of cracked concrete and exposed rebar there is scary. Okay. Well, again, it's virtual, so you watch it in the comfort of your home. But hey, we're going to take a break. When we come back, a lot to get to. We're going to talk more about independence. Stephen has a song that he's launching for just in time for independence. And we do want to hear from you. We appreciate that call before about how we should celebrate. And that was a great example of what we can do to get a tradition started here. That's the type of thinking we want. Coming up after the break, want to hear from you about that. This is Morning Blend. Stay with us.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas. Is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Independence Eve, on this Friday, July 9th, 2021. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. This is a special edition of the show today, looking at the business of independence and how we should be celebrating this. We've been relying on the government to plan the celebrations forever, it seems, for all these 48 years. But is it time, as we talked about in our previous hour, for us to really start to shape it ourselves?
Spoiler alert, yes.
Right? We wanted to hear from you. And this is not the first time we've had this conversation. Somebody's saying, you all seem to talk about this every year. Yes, until we get it right, we need to continue to talk about it. Because every year we come back here and we are complaining about what the government does or does not do. And how long will we continue to do that? Till we're 148 years old? Does that make any sense? Should we be like the caller said and come out and say, this is what we think represents culture in the Bahamas? We need to do this. Or some other things.
Yes.
We want to hear from everybody today what you would want to see from the Bahamas when it comes to independence. And as we said before, and the business community has to play a role in this as well, right?
Yeah, but they're going to follow behind you. There would be no bacon cheeseburgers if nobody in the Bahamas ate pork. Right? It's like they're following the trend.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we have so many liquor stores is because they're like, oh, Bahamians like to drink.
Yeah.
Right? And when beyond the moral, dilemma of that itself.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm saying because the amount that some Bahamians like to drink, it could be a moral issue, but not a moral issue, a social issue and a
health issue,
but also a psychological issue. But the whole point is like beyond that. The reason why people get into the liquor business is because they know it'll be profitable.
Yeah.
And so it's like we have the business community will follow where you lead them.
Yeah. A few days ago, I gave you my list of what I think we should do. I'll repeat that so that you can get your views in. I know some people had some views. They contacted me after the show. We can talk about that. One of those was that I think businesses should consider splitting their Christmas bonus in half and doing half of that in the middle of the year around Independence. So you get half your bonus around Independence. That's going to help a lot of people who need to travel in the summer or for school fees for the fall.
Else? It also makes sense because half of these companies with their creative bookkeeping have moved their fiscal year to July anyway. So it was year end for you last week. So it's not as hard, it's not as difficult as you would think it would be for you to give a person part of their Christmas bonus in the beginning of July.
And psychologically, I think this will do a lot for the Bahamian people.
And it'll be a bump because, you don't have to say, I'm giving you half your Christmas bonus now.
No, just independence bonus.
Right. And people, that's going to give your employees incentive as well because they're going to be like, oh, independence coming up. Are we going to get an independence bonus and blah, blah, blah. And they'll do things with it for independence. Even if it's as simple as planning to build a deck onto their house or something, it's going to add something.
Right. It'll spark an excitement about the time of year. Right now, people are just looking for a day off. Many people are very proud to say they don't go to Clifford Park and they don't watch the events, right? I mean, let's think beyond this horrible pandemic that we're in. But I mean, in the normal years,
the pandemic, you know that you can't take pictures by the fort.
What?
You cannot take pictures by the fort.
What are you talking about?
There's a sign where they charge you to take photographs by the fort.
Okay.
And it's an obscene amount.
That's insane. But sure.
It is insane. I agree.
But so those are one of the ideas there. And we'll talk about more about what I said a few days ago in just a bit. But let's hear from you. What do you say? And, of course, in a few minutes, we'll hear Steven's new song. Maybe that's something people can do. Come up with new songs around independence.
Yes, I think that we definitely do because, I appreciate Priscilla Rollins. I appreciate Biosis Now.
We need some new ones.
I'm thinking it's like it should never have been where after the 70s we stopped creating. And once again, this is one of those things where it's like during that time the government was pushing for artists and pushing the culture, and so a lot of we relied heavily on it. But it shouldn't be that is the only way new stuff enter into the spirit and the culture itself. And so I want to say that I took it upon myself to go ahead and I went around recording various Junkanoo groups so I could sample their sound. The Junkanoo Commandos, I got some sounds from them as well as I incorrectly called their name earlier, but Immortals J Organization.
That's not the name you said.
I know.
Totally
I said it differently.
You gotta get it right.
Right. I apologize. It was early in the morning. But
okay.
The Immortals J Organization, I got horns from them, whistles, bells, drums, several drum patterns and stuff from them. And so it's like there was a lot of community effort, persons coming together, not literally physically coming together, but getting all these different persons to put together something to create something brand new. You know what I'm saying? Just in the spirit of independence.
Excellent. We'll talk about that a little more. We'll find out about the lyrics in a bit, and then we'll hear Steven's song.
And better.
What's it called? What's the song called? Can you tell us that now?
Well, it has two names. One is July 10th, and I guess the other one is Together, which is an easier one to remember. Or, either one should be easier to remember.
So July 10th together.
Well, no, not both of them. It's like you can
What-
call it.
how-
It's either or.
Why?
It's like, no, because some people will remember together because it's in the song. The words July 10th are not in the song, but the word together is in the song. Anyway, when you call the radio station, ask them to play it, say, hey, you can play that together song.
Okay. All right.
Or the July 10th song.
All right. We're going to hear the debut in just a few minutes. Let's go to the phone lines and hear what you have to say about independence, how we should celebrate, how you would like to see it, if it's up to you, what we should be doing. Good morning, caller. You're in Morning Blend Business.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. Yes, and happy Eve Independence to all of you.
Same to you.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I have 2 points. One with the concert, and the other one just dropped to the mayor. But anyway, okay, in terms of the concert, I think it caused a lot of problems because of how it was done. Now, I can't really speak intelligently to it because I don't have all of the information to make a conclusive statement. Now, based on what I have, the fragments, it seems as if they didn't have a discussion with the secular artists. And that being said, I think that was unfair. You know, it's how you do things a lot of times. It's what you say too, but it's also how you say it. And it's what you do, and then it's how you do it. Independence is for all Bahamians. Yes. So you can't just up and decide we're going to segregate a certain group and say you're not going to be allowed to celebrate something that's a part of your heritage as a Bahamian, not as a secular group. You know what I'm saying? If this was just a gospel event, I could see them saying, well, you cannot be a part of it. But when you just up and outright just say, no, we're only going to have gospel, you're causing division even in that sphere in the music industry. And see, people got to remember, after the event is over, people still have to live with one another. You have to be careful of things. So how are those artists who were once relating to one another from the Christian realm and the secular realm going to now look at each other? You're causing unnecessary tension. You see what I'm saying? So it's how you do things. And then the other thing, I think they're doing it on the 30th, that was my other point, is because I think even though it's virtual, psychologically, humans are something else. I believe they might think they may congregate. Even though it's virtual, people can still congregate on one virtual board to watch something and have a party. So they're trying to say, well, let's probably loosen it up. So get that out of their system of partying, and you home, and you just watching it there. But I think it was how it was done, I appreciate them doing this, the Christian. I'm a Christian myself, and I appreciate them saying we need to really focus on God. But, hey, God could be glorified even through that secular artist and what they have to do, you see? Because it's from their heart. So you have to be careful how you do things. That's what I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right.
I agree.
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. You're on Morning Blend.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
Thank you for the opportunity. My thing is, we have a national debt that is, off the charts. Okay. We if we could afford it, then fine. This is a unique time. Okay, we're going through COVID-19, and if the government says, with all that they have to deal with, okay, and the country and the people have to go through, all right, honest to God, the people just were saying only God could help us in the situation we're in. So I understand the situation with the artists. Okay, I'm an artist myself, but at the end of the day, only so much can go around. Now, I think Bahamians can sing any kind of gospel song, Bahamian gospel song or foreign gospel song. At the end of the day, the true independence go with labor. Okay?
What?
Hello?
We're listening.
Yeah, I was saying labor goes with independence. And the average Bahamian worker who's unemployed, over 50,000 people are unemployed. These are the people who normally push independence because of how they want to celebrate independence, because of the amount of money they would have made over the last year. At the end of the day, everybody know how much money 50,000 people who are unemployed made thanks to COVID, thanks to the hurricane, thanks to bad policies, decisions, and so forth. You have foreign direct investors coming in, making billions, and would never, ever leave anything with the Bahamian people to say, this is what we made, and this is what our generosity, thanks to the Bahamian people and our country. It's, let's put some people to work, and then next year we'll have something to celebrate. Good day.
Okay. Thank you very much. We're looking for your ideas on how we should celebrate. I'm not getting any of them as usual. All right, so let me just say mine so that people, because there was a reaction when I said this a few days ago. Someone said they only liked one. They didn't like the bonus idea. This text here says...
There's a business owner.
This person says here, I work for an architectural firm on Elizabeth Avenue. Oh, boy. I don't even know what a bonus looks like. I thought a bonus is a myth like a unicorn. I don't think there are too many
unicorns
of those
were real, though.
On Elizabeth Avenue, whatnot? On Elizabeth Avenue, and so I think everyone knows who you are. But okay.
Unicorns are real. It's just that it's not a horse with a horn. It's just...
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Okay, so I was saying that...
it's the same way sailors saw something in the water. They called it a mermaid.
That's not...
It's not Ariel.
Yeah. Oh, okay,
it's a manatee.
Yikes. So this was controversial, but I'm going to say it again. So, the bonus thing, then I was saying that I think we need to make this a lot more meatier and meaningful, and that we should, around Independence Day, reveal, as we know we need to reform our Constitution. We have a lot of work to do. We had a whole Constitution Commission with all the recommendations. We need to do this. And I've said it before that we should have a referendum every year on one of these issues. Right. And I said that it should be Majority Rule Day, and that around independence is the time when you should learn the new matter that we're going to deal with.
That would only give us 6 months.
6 months. So is that not enough time, you think? No? All right. So
you need a full year.
To one of the suggestions somebody said in response to this, like, well, no, we can't mentally do this every year. So maybe we have a year and a half then. Until okay.
That would make
a whole year and a half of debating and arguing on.
No,
this
it's not debate. And see, that's the difference. And so that's what we also need to get out of. We need to get out of the spirit of everything is an argument.
All right. So the education campaign,
right? Because that's the thing. Even though me and you have different points, we're supposed to be educating each other on points. Here's something that you may not be aware of. Right? Does this inform or change your position on your opinion or on this topic? That's different from. Y'all don't understand. Y'all always doing this, and this would need to happen, and not relenting based on any new evidence provided. That's what we row in. We're not having a debate.
Some issues won't need more than 6 months, though. I mean, do you think?
I know that some issues won't, but for the don't assume that everybody is up to snuff and don't need to start from the basics.
All right, so fine. So around independence, we will reveal the issue and possibly the question, and this is what we're going to deal with come one of these majority rule days, either the next year or the year after. And so that would be the kickoff to the education campaign. And you look forward to Independence Day to learn what we're going to do next. Right. I also said that this is the time that we need to reintroduce the initial idea, the initial plan for Junkanoo Carnival, the way it was initially framed as a real celebration of Junkanoo in the form of a carnival. But the Bahamian aspects of Junkanoo, but a more participatory Junkanoo.
Right.
And we have this massive Junkanoo festival. You could say it's Gombe or whatever you want, Gombe, whatever you want to call it, and have that from July 4th through July 10th, 11th.
You know the problem is once again, it's a name situation.
Yeah, well, don't call it that then.
No, don't call it anything. I mean, call it whatever you want to call it.
A festival.
Right. It's a festival. It's the festival. Right. And like you said, instead of it being a parade, it's a what do you call it? Oh gosh, now the word escaped me. But like
participatory, in the form of
well, no, I guess a festival it works best. So instead of parade, a festival. So
all of it.
No,
all of it.
No, I'm saying no, because see, parade kind of implies that we stand on the side and watch. You can watch on the sidelines of a festival, but festival implies that there's participatory thing. Like you can do things at a festival.
Okay, but it's both. So there would be a parade.
there would
but
be a parade.
Preferably, you will be
Able to
jumping
dance
in the
parade.
line in your Junkanoo-ish costume,
Right.
and
In the parade.
In the parade,
Right.
unlike what you do at Junkanoo.
This is why English is a poor language. Because it's like I agree with you.
Yes. But all week
not-
long, there'd be a festival village, and you learn every aspect of culture would be in there, and all of us can go in there.
We could
miles
start that
and
from
miles.
June and end it in
Yeah,
July.
you're right. You could start that from June and have just a big, giant week that week leading up to July 10th, and this is amazing stuff is going on. And at New Year's Junkanoo, you release the songs that are competing for this, and everybody has 6 months to learn these songs, and you're going to be dancing to those songs in that parade with your Junkanoo costume as you go down the parade route.
Is this
and
I was trying to
right?
remember
and
when
you
they-
have a big giant concert to end it where you name the winners of the parade, and this is the song of the year or whatever, and you really just having this just anticipation of each year. This is going to be amazing because those songs that came out in New Year's were so great. I can't wait to.
I want to hear a Junkanoo person play this. I want to hear a Junkanoo
Yes.
band or a Junkanoo group play this.
Right.
Similar to the
And
song
again,
together.
it wouldn't be like that carnival from that other place where the DJ is on the back of the truck.
Don't bring it
You
up.
will have your cowbells and your drums because that's what we do.
Don't bring up
right?
motorcades.
That's what it is. But a true celebration of our culture, everything going on all month, as Steven says, long. Not just the week, but the week would be the big final finale week, and it would end in the Junkanoo and the concert
I
and
feel
everything.
like this is the perfect segue for them to hear the song.
Yeah, you think so?
Because if we're talking about original music,
Yeah.
that has all of the Bohemian elements.
All right. Oh, well, let's get to it. Let me take these calls, and then we'll get to it. Right? So
Okay, go ahead.
this is just going to whet the appetite, and they're like, I can't wait for Steven's song. Right? Good morning, caller. What do you make of of our suggestions, of the suggestions we were saying, or what do you have? What do you say?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi.
Happy Independence, Bahamas.
Good morning.
And I would like to salute all the working people, and also I want to call the people who are even out of jobs, who are surviving in this increased cost of living situation where we may have an inflationary rate of between 20 to 50% in some areas. I would like to also to deal with the education process. As a teacher, one time I asked my student to draw a Bahamian flag. And when they colored the flag, where the aqua was, they had the goal, and they had it in reverse. The flag in itself has a double line of aqua, then it has the black and the gold, the triangle of the black and the gold in the center. Regarding the situation of the yearly referendum, I think it's a great idea, but I think we need more participation and person providing easy labor, voluntary work, so that things don't become too expensive. When things become a burden to the government in terms of finances, it becomes difficult to be done. In this age of technology, I think we can do that with ease. With all these online polls and all that are actually free of cost, why do things has to be so expensive to get things done so we can move forward?
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi. Good morning. Are you there? Nope. Okay. This text, and then we'll get to you, Stephen. This person says, my suggestion for independence celebrations would be at the constituency level to have each constituency decorate their area or park and display the local Bahamian talent or art, crafts, food, music, songwriting, dance, etc. in each constituency. Okay, all right. Goes back to what I said earlier. Yeah, but again, we can't call it that, I guess. Yeah, but
if you listen, if everybody's already okay with the word constituencies, so let's use the word constituencies. It's the same thing. Like if suppose the word was province or whatever, it's whatever.
It's not the way it's supposed to be.
Here's the thing: you cannot become married to the word because that's how we get dragged into these small petty squabbles. I know it's not the same thing, but here's the thing: no, these words don't mean anything.
But what will it hurt to do it?
What will it
They're
hurt?
bigger than constituencies, and see that's when you make it really political. When you divide the community based on the constituency only.
But that's the thing, we
right?
could change
that's
what a
not the way it's
constituency
supposed to be. Hey, if it's a local government district, folks, that you want, let's do that.
And we could do
let's
district.
do
but I'm
that,
saying,
right?
But as long as if you're not willing to give up
And
on
the
it,
problem is, again, because who is going to be the main organizer there? You can't expect it to be the MP when you start talking like this, right?
No.
You can't. So why are we doing that?
We
just
change
expand
everything
it. Nope. Do it properly. Do it properly. You divide the place up into districts and you vote for those folks. You have a mayor and you have a council and you do it the right way. And it doesn't matter who the MP is.
we can. But I'm just saying,
But
sometimes
that's
people
just
just afraid of some words.
Well, you got to stop being afraid, folks. Right? That's not going to get you anywhere. You're going to be stuck in the corner, shivering in the dark.
Listen, it don't have
all day long.
It doesn't. The word doesn't have to be. You don't have to use the word MP or constituency, but you may also not use the word mayor. We'll
Okay.
find another
What's the
word.
problem with mayor? Yeah, any mayor around here ever did anything to anybody?
No,
we
because
never
you
had
don't know
one.
what that is.
Right.
That's
So
not-
what's the problem?
Why do we call it?
There's
uncle?
no reason.
The person could be called uncle.
What are you afraid of a mayor for?
You went
Folks,
with the wrong thing.
This is the second or third message. This is clearly what the Bahamian people know they need, but are afraid to say it.
They know
right?
they're not used to the same words as you. That's all.
Okay.
You see,
So
you and them are on the same
when the
page.
conversation comes up again for local government for New Providence, don't be afraid. You know this is what you want. You say it all the time.
Yes,
you
but they
want
use
it,
different words.
right? You want it.
Dwight,
So
you could
just
bring them-
accept it.
You could bring them in.
And we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that.
You just got to use different words.
Okay. But when people use different words from you, don't be afraid. Just try to understand, right? But it's what you want. It's very clear. The way that everybody talks in the country, especially in New Providence, you want empowered local
Yes.
government, right?
Bro,
And
we want a lot of things,
to
but
not be
we are-
centered around
we're
your
afraid
MP.
of the actual
You don't
legal.
gotta be afraid. For what? Everybody in the world's doing it. Why are you afraid? Do you think we're not as capable
Dude,
as the rest of the world?
The happiest, the richest, the most developed countries are all democratic socialist countries, right? But you cannot get Bahamians to
You
say
see, when you introduce these words,
But I'm
you
saying,
water
it's
down
the
the
same
argument
thing.
now.
I'm not watering
You're
it
scaring
down.
people
It's the same
more
thing.
because
People-
don't say those things. But okay,
It's the same principle.
Let's talk about your song. So what the lyrics are interesting. Why did you
Because I
what are
felt
you focusing on
these
there?
lyrics. What do you mean? What I'm focusing on? It's the lyrics are quintessentially Bahamian.
Okay,
and they speak to the spirit of the Bahamas. They speak to the culture and the day-to-day lived reality
Yeah.
of Bahamians.
Mr. Producer, are we ready with the song there? Again, who are the artists? Who are the artists performing there? Are you prepared to say the names?
Oh, I mean, well, the primary artist is Red's Father Ninja.
Red's Father Ninja.
Yes.
Okay.
With 2 D's. And the other gentleman is Vega Truth.
These are very interesting names. Okay, and you say it's together.
Yes,
Together.
yes.
Yes.
With
Red's Father Ninja. Ninja.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
It's Independence
Ninja,
Day.
Ninja and
Vega Truth.
Vega?
Yes.
Truth. Okay, here we go, folks. The world debut. Of
Cooper gotta be the national fish.
Cause you can't eat blue marlin and grits.
Making cup from the government pump.
Putting bread on the corner like a roach can't jump.
When we was poor, everybody belly was flat.
Now your belly flat cause you want it like that.
Don't watch your pocket, the eye still broke.
No money since the 80s when daddy was selling.
He was selling Bibles. Born yesterday.
Put the daddy in the thing.
I like how she look.
Yeah, you see king.
This the vibe.
She my pride.
Thai snack fried dry.
Mayo on the side.
I don't like banks, NIB or the government.
Macaroni with milk.
So no cream and butter then.
But I still love you.
Bahamas is the queen. If you Bahamian, you don't know the team. Forward, upward, onward, together. Forward, upward, onward, together. Forward, upward, onward, together. Forward, upward, onward, together.
better in the Bahamas.
Bahamas better than you.
What you crying for?
You want something?
I could give it to you, but him is laid back.
You know a real issue?
When you drive there, and he ain't no conquer bamboo.
I drive boat.
I drive plane.
These women can't drive.
But they drive us insane. These women like a circular goat. Always kidding around,
What?
always moving their mouth.
Wait, what you talking about?
But let me put down my strong back stout. I'm being told I ain't what the song about.
Not at all. This about the love for country.
Dance are still funky.
Jones to stay bulky.
And even with a heart of gold,
A beautiful black sword.
like a blue weave she bold.
All love our Bahamian thing. If you Bahamian, you don't know the team. Forward, upward, onward, together. Forward. I know you sitting in the back of the gym right now. Together. And you scared to sing. Upward. And near to sing along to the song. Forward. Where's your voice? Sing the song. Together. Forward, upward, onward, together. Forward, upward, onward, together. Louder. Forward, louder. Upward, louder. Onward, louder. Louder. Upward, onward. No just together. Forward, what? Upward, what? Onward, what? Together. Louder. Forward, louder. Upward, louder. Onward, together. Forward, God, with the rock. Onward, together. Forward, say it with the trust. Onward, together. Can't be scared to make music. What the teacher tell you from grade 3? All us can't talk together, but all us could sing together, right? So you can't be scared to make music, king. That's the only way this could work. All us gotta be singing the same song.
Wow.
Profound.
Okay. Boy.
Profound.
So that is very interesting, Stephen Hanna. So that's
Were you not moved? Were you not moved?
You know, as I told you earlier in the show, I said the second time I heard it, because the first time I was like, what? And the second time, oh, well. And then the third time. So I do think with time, it grows on you.
It's not a matter of growth. You know, the aesthetic that I was going for was I wanted that, and I feel like you've never ridden a jitney on purpose.
Wow.
But like I want to feel like I'm riding in a number 21A jitney, like either coming from school or going to work or leaving work at the 5 o'clock hour. That's the aesthetic that I was going for. I was going for.
I get the feeling that I'm in a little car behind the jitney. And all the diesel is in my face, but
so very strong. Just saying, strong notes. I get it.
Well, for the couple of people who some people are asking for it, they like it, and others are having a great time. One is not getting it. I'll show you that message. This person's not getting it, but we'll play it one more time at the end of the show, and then maybe they'll.
Is that long message for me? Or?
No, the bottom one there, but we'll get back to that. Okay, interesting. We'll play it again at the end of the show. We're going to take a break. When we come back, want to hear more from you. Not getting the ideas, folks. Not many. What's happening? What does that mean? You see, you're going to leave it up to the government again to define and frame how we celebrate independence. I think is very dangerous. But maybe we need to be more like Stephen and writing songs and to express what it means to be Bahamian. What should we be doing? What are you going to be doing? We'll get back to that on the special edition Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
But if I could tell you more, I'm born in Nassau.
The summer you deserve is here at Alive. We do it better. Capture more moments and go further with our prepaid plans for everyone. Roam free with postpaid and stay connected with MiFi on the go anywhere, anytime. We do it better with more device offerings, accessories, exclusive deals with the list, and so many opportunities to win big. From travel vouchers, grocery vouchers, Alive merch, and more. Alive. Believe in best.
Put me in your pocket, take me away, yeah, I'm ready for you.
RBC has been growing with the Bahamas for over 110 years with new ways to bank better. We are committed to deepening our relationship with existing clients and forging new ones in the future with new products and services and investment in the community, youth, and education initiatives. We are here to help you grow.
We're here to help you flourish. We're RBC.
RBC Royal Bank. Banking reimagined.
As a people, Bahamians are anxious about the future. Feeling down and out, unsure in these unprecedented times? We need to believe that love's coming back. Join us Tuesday, July 13th at 11 a.m. at lovescomingback.com for the virtual launch of Love's Coming Back, an inspiring new anthem from Grammy Award-winning founding member of the Eurythmics, songwriter, producer Dave Stewart, which will premiere globally at 12 noon. Presented by Bay Street Records, Bahamas National Trust, and BrylandAid.org.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The government will seek to source $892.4 million of this fiscal year's borrowing from local markets and $959.2 million in foreign currency. That's according to the Ministry of Finance. Details of the government's borrowing plans were outlined in the first annual borrowing plan, which outlined the government's intention to use an estimated $899.7 million from its borrowings to refinance maturing debt securities and loans in the form of issuances, buybacks, switches, and redemption of bonds and treasury bills. The government passed a financing resolution last month for $1.85 billion this fiscal year to retire old debt and cover the shortfall between revenue and expenditures, estimated to come in at $2.24 billion and $3.19 billion, respectively. While the bulk of borrowing, approximately 52%, is being sought in foreign currency, the government noted that it will continue to survey domestic market conditions and investor sentiment to determine if more financing can be sourced domestically. Following a review of the market, the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, IRCA, has determined that there are 2 radio frequencies available for broadcast. The authority has issued a request for proposals for an individual spectrum license for use of the frequency 90.7 megahertz or 105.7 megahertz yesterday. The announcement is coming 7 years after IRCA stopped issuing licenses in March 2014 because it recognized that there was an increased potential for harmful interference of transmission between FM radio broadcast stations. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Thursday, your market movers, Doctors Hospital moving 1,000 shares, closing up 70 cents to $7.75. Consolidated Water down 6 cents, closing at $2.33. Emira Incorporated up 1 cent, closing at $11.17. The BISX All Share Index closing at 1,954.53, up 3.04. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
I am a Bahamian.
Yo, hey yo, we come a long way and we just begun. Come on, lift up your heads to the rising sun and just sing it out loud. I am a Bahamian. Come on, sing it out loud.
We're going to end the show with Stephen's song. Welcome back to this special edition of Morning Blend Business. Dwight, Strachan, and Stephen Hanna. We are talking about independence and how we should be celebrating independence, getting your views on it this morning. And Stephen has put his musical talent where his mouth is, I guess. Is that how you put it? I don't know. Something like that. Yes. And has crafted a song for celebrating Bahamian pride. And we're getting mostly positive reviews. I don't know if this one's positive. Stephen needs... Oh, okay, I read it again. Well, Stephen needs not to quit his day job. Don't worry about that one, Stephen. That's fine. But this one says, that song was off the chain. I love it. Play it again. Forward, upward, together. Bahamas strong. Bahamas happy National Pride Day. Yeah, wonderful stuff.
person gets it. They
Yeah.
felt it.
Somebody's asking for a copy. They want it. They want to buy it. Okay.
I mean, I will accept your money. Yeah, sure.
Okay. This one says here, I cry shame, shame. They are keeping the local artists to the end of the month. We don't want that. Okay. 48 artists, even though it's a 2-night show, performances must be limited to, I guess, 2 minutes. They won the battle, but I don't know if they'll win the war. Doubt they'll get as many ratings, but I wish them well. All right, so we're getting a lot of complaints, but not the ideas we wanted to see, right? So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? This person's coming back about the constituency thing. It will not be the MP or the government. It will be the neighborhood organizing the celebration. It could be an independent day yard decorating competition for the neighborhood. We cannot depend on any government or local governments to spearhead our independent celebrations. Well, okay. Well, we don't have local government here in New Providence, definitely not. And again, we wonder about the very unusual way they do it on the Family Islands, right? Yeah. Let's hear what you have to say, folks. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Let's take
You know what it is?
that call. Oh, let's get the call first. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, happy Independence to all.
Yeah, same to you.
And do well, okay?
Yes, you as well.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, that's it. Great. Thank you very much. Happy Independence. All right.
It's the sound of like when persons are at drunken practice, like, and the conductor is like screaming out, directions. That's what it is.
That's what is
the song. It's encapsulating that, because I know you're concerned about the person, the overdriven person screaming
at the end. It's very intense.
Right,
making me nervous.
But it's supposed to be. It's you're supposed to feel it here.
I like my music to calm me down a little bit sometimes.
I mean, well, this music
one,
does different things.
Right.
This is supposed to work you up into a fever.
It's like, for independence.
Yes.
Yeah, man. That's great. It's beautiful. This one says, why should I fly a Bahamian flag when my Bahamian passport is only as good as an ID in a government office and not even respected as a sole authority in a bank? What? What? Well, okay, first of all, you shouldn't need a passport to do anything in a bank. So let's get that right. Why do you need a passport for everything in the country? That's crazy. Let's get out of that nonsense once and for all. But anyway, let me continue to read your text. My passport only has value on the world stage, not with the bank. Well, that's how it's supposed to be. Do you know what a passport is? Why should your passport mean anything here? Why do you need a passport? To travel where? From Wolf Road to Mackey Street? Huh? Whoa. Come on now. That we've gotten this all wrong. Yes, it is only supposed to have value as a travel document on the world stage. What is it here for? What do you need that for?
Because it was the only form of identification a lot of people had.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a failure on the part of the governments of the Bahamas, right?
And now it isn't. Now we have an NIB card.
Yeah,
I'm
you got other things. Yeah, sure. But people are more than happy to. They would be happy to go along with somebody telling you on Paradise Island, yeah, you need to bring your passport to get over here. You'd be happy with that. That's absolute foolishness, right? What? We have to stop. You know it's coming. You know it's coming.
What?
Anyway, so they go on to say, so an independent celebration where only songs written by foreign artists are sung is understandable, I guess. You got it all wrong, and we got to fix it. We've got to fix this, right? Passport, stop it. We've got to fix this. Okay. Anyway, let's take this text here. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning.
Hi.
Hey, guys. Real quick question.
Go ahead.
What does the Bahamian 40 and under have to celebrate about independence? Celebrating a country that don't celebrate them back first, and are we being a people that is being forgotten, or I wouldn't say cancel culture or whatever, right? But the thing that make us Bahamian, I don't know if independence is about culture, because I'm the one that's under 40 whatever, but I don't know if independence is about culture or it's about being free or liberty to a certain extent. And the last point I want to the conversation between the guy who was supposed to be the person who was coordinating the event. When the media said that he wasn't able to reach, and his response was that he didn't know of the meeting that the Bahamian artist was having at that time, because even if he didn't know, he couldn't attend because he was so busy planning the other events. So which means that if he's in charge of all of the events and activities, he don't know anything about this event, what they say now the Bahamian is going to have for the 48 artists. Does that make any sense at all?
I get your point. Yep, it's an unfortunate situation. You asked a lot of questions there. Well, yeah. So the first part, I know a lot of people are asking that. A lot of people wonder, but hey, we're a struggling young nation.
Okay,
I'd rather be what we're doing though than to be under the British or any other country. Right? Truly rather that. Steven's looking at me weird because you'd rather be a subject of the United Kingdom? Is that what you're saying to me?
I'm not saying me. I'm saying that there are a lot of people who would. There are people right now, if you tomorrow said, hey, by the way, America says they're going to annex us, we're going to be the 51st state of the United States. There are people who will run in the streets in celebration.
Until they're required to pay the taxes.
Hey guys,
they're required to. Yes, call.
Okay, let's look at this, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar of the athlete Chris Brown, right?
Of course.
Okay, Chris Brown he is a Bahamian, but he was an athlete that went out there and through his participation, his camaraderie, and everything like that, he brings something back to the country, our national relays and stuff like that, right? I don't know if y'all remember a few years ago, the Bahamian government at that time told him that we cannot fund you, we cannot follow you with this. And in return, they took it away from him and give it to the new incoming Patelco or BTC owners or whatever and say, this is going to be their event. How are you celebrating Bahamians who going out there and trying to produce and bring more activities to your country? How is that celebration? That's only an example.
Yep.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good day, man.
Thank you very much. I understand the questions you're asking. I know people are feeling that. But you've got to be able to separate that, right? And understand that we are a developing nation, as they say. And we have a long way to go. We have many hurdles in front of us, mountains to climb. But we have come a long way as well. And I don't know if the people under 40 recognize that because they don't know. And our older Bahamians have done a poor job of telling that story about just what type of state this country was in the 50s.
It's also because it's easier when the mythology is told over and over. And so if the only thing you remember is the mythology and you don't remember, well, wait, why did we first do this thing? Then it's a little bit more difficult. Because if you're saying we did this because we felt like we could take ourselves to a better place, and then everybody looks around and says, well, where's the better place? The only thing different between now and then is that we don't have a Jonas George. All right? I'm just saying, if that's the only difference, then say, well, then why did we change? But that's the thing. It wasn't just that. It was a lot of things happening, and we need to look at it in its totality and say, where were we? Where were we supposed to go? And why didn't we get there? And do we need to reassess the roadmap and all this? But even now, you're trying to have that conversation, and we're still not having that conversation.
Nobody's having it.
Right? Because people want to complain.
They want to complain.
Because I told somebody this morning that our native tongue is complaint. Like how the Bible's like, this person, they speak a lie, that's their native tongue. It's like, for Bahamians, our native tongue is complaining. We meet a new Bahamian person, and we don't have nothing to talk about. Some people say, oh, look at the weather. We say, boy, this government, minutes gotta go. That's how Bahamians speak to each other, whether or not they're PLP, FNM, DNA. We complain about something, right? And so it's like, it's very difficult for us to then find actual resolutions, solutions, whatever it is, to move ourselves forward.
Yeah. This person here is saying, you two are clueless to the overture being expressed. The passport is a representation of citizenship. Well, okay. It's foolish.
But in the bank, it doesn't make sense. And then also,
there are tons of people all over the world who are citizens of their nation. They have never traveled outside
the giant
their country.
America?
never traveled the country, never owned a passport, but they are very much citizens.
They don't apply for a passport until they're about to leave the country.
So we've got to rethink this, Bahamian people, and you got to find a better way. Some people don't want to travel, right? And that's their business. So what? They let their passports expire, or as you say, never even try to get one. So what does that mean? I don't know how. That means they're not a Bahamian?
Apparently.
Oh, okay. That makes as much sense as I don't know. Anyway,
we live in the Bahamas. It wouldn't be all that wild for somebody who is a Bahamian to suddenly not be a Bahamian when they go to renew their passport. Oh wait, didn't you have a person on your show like a week ago where that happened to them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, folks, what is that supposed to mean? We've got very few, just a couple suggestions.
I thought this was supposed to be a happy show.
It was.
So that you could replay it on Monday.
No, I don't know what we're going to do. We got to play music. We play your song over and over. Yeah?
That will definitely take the country forward.
Well, we got one idea beyond mine. Did you give yours? You said music. Make music. What other suggestions do you have?
My suggestion is, I think that if
oh boy,
because all of my suggestions are I like your suggestion with the even things as simple as the budget or whatever. But my things are
the what?
Like with not the budget, sorry,
the bonus,
right?
The bonus and the Junkanoo Festival,
right? But my issue is that the things that need
the
to
referendum.
Happen, yes, the things that need to happen need to come organically out of the community, right? And so it's like it would be. I cannot tell a person in Camp Road the thing that they need for them to appreciate independence, but I also can't tell the person. Not Life for Key, but the person who lives out west in Prospect Ridge or one of the ridges, what it is, because like that's not my lived reality. You know what I'm saying? Like as it is, it's as simple as everybody needs to do. If we treated it like Christmas, where it's like we make a meal, a specific meal, and we cook a specific meal on this day, and we share it with our close friends and family. That changes the dynamics of it. Because that's the reason why Christmas is special. Don't mind, everybody will say, oh, it's because of the birth of Christ. But half of y'all don't go to church, right? Ever. I ain't even talking about at Christmas. At ever. Y'all don't ever go to church, right? So it isn't, y'all don't love Jesus.
Wow.
Y'all love ham and turkey.
Oh, dear.
Right? And so I'm just saying, if you associate.
Let's take these two really quickly before we have to go. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Morning.
Morning, Steven.
What the hell you doing?
Hey, Dwight. How does it sound? Suppose each of the genres of music take part in an objection by every one of them take part of their own concert on each one of the parks. And also, you have Junkanoo genre, you have soca genre, you have calypso genre, and each one on a different park in Nassau. How would you think the government would take that instead of coming to the people and finding out, look, what would we have this year? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, like satellite concerts like all over the island or all over the country.
Is that what you mean?
I think we lost him.
Okay.
It sounded like he meant like instead of having like one celebration in one place, you have different. I mean, that might cost more actually, but it's not out the realm.
Hey, all right.
If each of the constituencies came up with which artist they wanted to perform, like if they sent somebody from within their community, how about that? How about we just do a community? If each of the communities came up with the person that they wanted.
Okay. Sure. We're going to leave it with Steven's song. So obviously we're going to be stuck doing this every year, the same complaint every year about what the government did on July 9th. And, well, hey, that's what we would deserve, I guess.
Listen to me, Dwight. It's very simple. I'm going to buy a crab roll, a crab duff, right? And that's going to be my Independence Day food, right? A nice log of crab duff, and I'm going to go share it with my family because that's my Bahamian way. It's
beautiful,
and I suggest that everybody go and find something.
Find
to do
something.
The same.
Yeah. All right, everybody have a wonderful holiday weekend. Enjoy Monday. We'll be back on Tuesday with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend business. And enjoy Independence Day tomorrow. Happy Independence, Bahamas. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green.
This the vibe. She my pride.
Thai snack fried dry.
Mayo on the side.
I don't like banks, NIB, or the government.
Macaroni with milk.
So no cream and butter then.
But I still love you.
Bahamas is the queen. If you Bahamian, you don't know the team. Forward, upward, onward, together. Forward, upward, onward, together. Forward, upward, onward, together. Forward, upward, onward, together.
Better in the Bahamas.
Bahamas better than you.
What you crying for?
You want something?
I could give it to you. Bahamas lay it back.
You know a real issue?
When you drive there and ain't no conquer bamboo.
I drive boat.
I drive plane.
These women can't drive.
But they drive us insane. These women like a circle of goat.
Wait.
Always kidding around.
What?
Always moving their mouth.
Wait, what you talking about?
But let me put down my strong back stout. I'm being told I ain't what the song about.
Not at all. This about the love for country.
Dance are still funky.
Jones to stay bulky.
And even with her heart of gold,
a beautiful black soul,
like a blue weave she bore.
All love our Bahamian things. If you Bahamian, you don't know the team. Forward, upward, onward, together. Forward. I know you sitting in the back of the gym right now. Together. And you forward, upward, and near you sing along to the song. Forward, raise your voice, and sing the song. Together. Forward, upward, onward, together. Forward, onward, together. Louder. Forward, louder. Forward, no just time. Forward, what? Upward, what? Onward, what? Together. Louder, forward, louder, upward, louder, onward, together. Forward, get out with the rock. Onward, together. Forward, say it with the chest. Onward, together. Can't be scared to make music, kid. What did the teacher tell you from grade 3? All us can't talk together, but all us could sing together, right? So you can't be scared to make music, king. That's the only way this could work. All us gotta be singing the same song.